It's time for TWiT, episode 272. Lisa Bettany's here, Loic, Meur, John C. Dvorak. We've got wine. What did I call you? Meur. Loic's here, and we're going to have a great show. Stay tuned. TWiT is next.
Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Audio bandwidth for This Week in Tech is provided by Winamp. Subscribe to TWiT and all your favorite podcasts with the ultimate media player. Download it for free at winamp.com. Video bandwidth for TWiT is provided by CacheFly at CacheFly.com. This is TWiT, This Week in Tech, episode 272, recorded October 31st, 2010. Spill the wine. This Week in Tech is brought to you by Carbonite. Backing up the files on your PC or Mac is safe and easy with Carbonite. For a free trial plus 2 free months with purchase, go to Carbonite.com. Offer code TWiT. And by Squarespace.com, the fast and easy way to publish a high-quality website or blog. For a free trial and 10% off the lifetime of your new account, go to squarespace.com/TWiT and use the offer code TWiT. And by Ford and the new Ford Fiesta with an EPA estimated 40 highway miles per gallon. No other compact car is more fuel efficient, and fuel economy is just for starters. The 2011 Ford Fiesta. Ford invites you to drive one at a dealer near you. It's time for TWiT, This Week in Tech, the show that covers all the tech news. Hello, everybody. I'm Leo Laporte, and we've got such a crowded studio today. We rarely have our entire panel in studio. And when I built this studio, I never imagined that we'd need any more than 1 or 2 cameras. But now I'm wishing we had 7 or 8 cameras. There he is. That's Loic Meur from Le Web and Seismic.
Hello.
A entrepreneur. Pull the microphone right up into your face there.
Sure.
Loic,
right up in my face.
There you go.
There we go.
Can we hear you? You have such a great voice.
Very good.
You're. How can I describe you, Loic? You're an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I created 5 startups, so I guess that's a good.
You're on your 5th startup.
Yeah.
And you also do conferences, and Le Web is coming up in Paris.
Yeah, I did this to help Europe with the startups and entrepreneurs raise money and get ideas, get inspired.
That's exciting.
Yeah, 2,500 people coming from 50 countries.
It'll be at Les Docks.
And Léo Laporte is
I will be there. We're going to do a show from there, which is going to be fun. That's December 8th and 9th.
Absolutely.
Leweb.net, if you want to know more. John C. Dvorak is wearing his Mountie outfit for Halloween. Hello, John. That's good. You look good.
That's my hat.
He actually looks like Smokey the Bear. Say this, John. Say, only you
can prevent forest fires.
There he is. This looks good. John is on some sort of drug that doesn't allow him to consume, so
I'm consuming water.
You're having water, and the rest of us are drinking wine, a fine wine, a Zinfandel today.
Yeah, I'm not missing much, believe me.
Oh, it's pretty good.
And
he's such a nice guy.
To John's right, he is being very nice. He's being very un-French. To John's right,
this is crap.
Wait until I finish this glass.
In your face.
He'll like it better.
Right.
To John's right, Lisa Bettany, moslylisa.com. We haven't had you on in an age, and you know why?
Why?
Because of Camera Plus. Zip, can you not talk about that still? Okay, so we won't say a word. We don't know what it is. We won't talk about it. We have no idea what happened. And when you can talk about it, come back and let us know. Is the reason you can't talk, is it being litigated, or is there something going on?
All I can say is we're working with Apple, and we're optimistic.
Good. That's good.
We're optimistic.
That's good. We're working with Apple, and we're optimistic.
Optimistic in the same sentence.
Usually you don't hear that. It's kind of an unusual combination, isn't it? Yeah. It's just for people who don't know. And by the way, hi, I'm over here. If you're watching the video, I don't know what happened. We lost a camera. I don't know what happened. I have no excuse for this. Camera Plus is a very popular iPhone app that sold $500,000 worth in the first month, I think. It was very successful. I won't put the camera on you, Lisa, so you don't have to feign ignorance. And but then got pulled from the App Store. We're not sure by whom, but we do know why, because in fact I still have it on here. because it allowed you to change the physical hardware on the phone so that you could use the volume controls to snap a picture, turning the iPhone 4 into something that's really much more like a point-and-shoot camera. Loved the idea. Apple quite rightly said it's against our rules. You can't do that. And there's a disagreement at that point. So you're optimistic that something will come.
Yeah. We're working with them, and we haven't just sat by and done nothing. So we're working on everything. But yeah, we are optimistic at this point. But it's in their hands. So.
Right. And I might say one of the things Lisa and I are working on is a camera show soon. We really hope to get this off the ground very quickly. And this will be more of a how-to show.
Yeah, I really want it to be do-it-yourself with whatever camera you have, because how I started was with really no gear, making things with duct tape and stuff like that. So that's what I wanted.
What I want too, because a lot of what you see on podcasts, and even our own This Week in Photography show that Alex Lindsay did here, is for high-end enthusiasts, people who can afford anything. Although I have to say, we got Loic with his 5D Mark II. We've got John with his Panasonic GH1. We got, the cameras here are flying.
This has got a 1.2 lens in it.
Yeah.
I know.
Pretty sweet. Hey, John.
Ridiculous.
That's super fast.
It has glass in it.
That's got a lot of glass. So now we've already turned this into a snobby photo show. It's actually mine. I'm lending it to Loic.
How many cameras do you have?
Plenty.
What, do you buy every camera that comes out?
Close to it.
Most of them?
No.
You have half the cameras here are cameras that you...
I feel it's my job to buy it. Well, you're using my new MacBook Air. What do you think of that? The 11-inch Air.
I like it. It's a little small.
Loic and I both love it.
It's really fast. I've switched
it's light.
It's been 2 days, and it's as fast as like a regular one.
Yeah. I no longer use my 15. It's so light, and frankly, kind of replaces the iPad for me. I have to wonder if Apple might lose some sales to this.
I guess
I'm
people
in
like
TWiT Live 2, ladies and gentlemen. TWiT Live 2.
Oh, we will shut you back to the main
No, this
chat.
is fine. I prefer being with the overflow.
The people.
No, it's very cool. It's a surprise for me how fast this is. MacBook Air.
Did you have a MacBook Air, the original?
Yeah, that was very slow. That was horribly slow.
Yeah, I did not buy one for that reason.
Exactly.
And it overheated. It had a terrible overheating problem.
I think it's mostly linked to a flash memory hard drive, right? Which, is so fast that it enhances everything.
It's pretty clear, in fact, after you use this, that really nowadays processors are more than fast enough that what's really slowing a computer down is drive access. Yeah. You speed up drive access even a little bit with an SSD, which they've done in here, and it boots in 15 seconds. It launches an app in one bounce or less.
And you fire it with Skype and Evernote and 15 tabs in your browser. And
oh, wow.
Because
Skype used to just
I really tried to make it go slow, and I could not so far.
Oh, don't worry about it. It'll happen on its own.
It'll slow down just fine in a little bit. Let's talk about the mobile event. You're kind of into mobile a little bit, Loic, or you were with Seismic. You did the mobile video and so forth.
Oh, Seismic does Android, BlackBerry,
and
iPhone.
You do mobile apps.
Yeah, and even Windows Phone 7 since last week. So we're into mobile.
Oh, really? You announced a Seismic for Windows 7?
Yeah, we have it since last week.
Oh, congratulations!
We're one of the very first social networking apps, bringing Facebook, Twitter, and more in one app, and we have it since last week. We had our desktop on Silverlight, Microsoft. And it's the same code base as for the phone.
So it's easy.
Easy, yeah. We did it in half the time it took us to do the iPhone apps.
There's a strong argument for WPF and Silverlight.
Yeah, it's been very nice to code on. The team is really happy. And
now, what do you think? Twitter made an announcement this week about trademarks and the use of the word tweet. And one of the things they said, which would directly impact you, is they're not really crazy about you using any of the Twitter marks in an application that is more than Twitter, and you are more than Twitter.
Yeah, but that's why it's called Seismic.
It's not called
Tweet something.
Tweet thing. Yeah, TweetDeck is another one that's going to have a problem.
I don't know about that. I would
should have
doubt.
taken action earlier, it seems to me.
But
Twitter or
Twitter?
I think in general it's not very smart to call your own brand. You don't own a brand if you use someone else. It's like if I called my next company Leo Laporte something.
That'd be a mistake.
Yeah.
Or you started a podcast network called This Weekend.
Right.
Huh.
Oh,
who would do something like that?
That'd be nuts. It'd be crazy. You wouldn't want to do that.
And I have no idea who you're referring to.
Or if after Twitter you started a podcast network called TWiT. But of course we preceded Twitter. I'd like to point out. It's pointless, but I'd like to point it out anyway. TWiT was here first, damn it.
What is that light over there?
And now we'll take a break to answer John's question. What light? Over
that
where?
Over there with all the little dots.
You don't see others of them around?
Oh yeah, there's a couple.
Those are called.
Point of that?
So we're in a video studio. How do you like that sepia shot? We're in a video. Oh. Oh. It seems that my camera's gone into demo mode, and now
Never
I'm in.
looked better.
This is good. This is the FBI witness protection
One more
program
glass
mode.
of that wine, and you will be pixelated.
Whoa, that's spooky.
Oh, jeez, it's our Halloween.
Great radio, ladies and
Halloween
gentlemen.
edition.
Great lit radio.
Yeah. Moving along, top stories. Facebook's going to do an event on Wednesday. They say it's a mobile event, November 3rd. Anybody have any thoughts about what Facebook's really been running stuff out like crazy? What are they going to do?
So they bought out IO Drop.io.
I'm so mad.
I know, I love
Everybody
that.
was relying on that.
So mad
and the guy
about
said,
that.
Hey, we sold to Facebook. Screw you.
They did. They shut it down. Now, what they really wanted was Sam Lessin. You must know Sam, Loic. I mean, he's really a great guy.
I don't know him personally, but I know of him, and yeah he's a great guy.
So it's a real acquisition.
What kind of a great guy is he if he was if he shuts down the service?
Well, he didn't. Facebook did, but he, of course, agreed to be shut down. Mark Zuckerberg said very clearly, we have never bought a company for the company's assets. We always buy it for the engineers.
Well, they leave the site running then.
Which is the same as Friendfeed, right?
They left Friendfeed running. I mean, it's kind of neglected, but they did leave it running. But I think Dropio was such a great tool. I really miss Dropio. I'm going to miss Dropio. You can't sign up now for an app.
I guess Dropbox would be the other.
Is it? Is it as good?
It's not. I mean, you can't just send it randomly. But I mean, I use Dropbox for everything.
I signed up for a new service. I'm going to see if it's as good. They tweeted, "Oh, all you Dropio people, come to us." It's called Toidoid. I don't know.
It's great.
I can't remember the name.
Great name companies. You
Wait
can't remember.
a minute, I'll find it here. I can't remember the exact name, but the idea of it is that you right-click on any file on your own computer if you have an account, and it will automatically share it publicly. So it's kind of like Dropio, but nobody's got the Dropio functionality. That was a really great.
So I think Facebook will, like, more announce, you know, they have a set of libraries already for BlackBerry, for iPhone, for Android that you, as a developer, you just stick it into.
Is that what you're using for Seismic?
Yeah, for example, for BlackBerry, Seismic on BlackBerry only has Twitter, and if we want to add Facebook, they have a BlackBerry
isn't that nice?
library, which is like a month old only.
Yeah.
And I think they just want to replace your address book in your phone. And what I'm expecting is like a very deep integration into a phone and more libraries like this. Also, I think Zuck has changed his mind from web-based only being, you know, kind of everything into the native app. So probably an iPad app that could be.
Really? You know, there is no.
Makes sense.
There is a Facebook app on the iPhone, but there is none on the iPad.
Yeah.
Right, and not on. Well, I guess it's never been very important for them, and I hear from like friends at Facebook that is getting into more and more.
So you're saying their focus was to pull you there on the website, and actually the iPad experience on Safari on Facebook is great.
It's great, yeah.
You don't need really.
I don't know, but I think they are getting more and more into native, which I think is good for the users.
Native meaning
meaning you have an actual app, and not only web-based.
They truthfully, they shouldn't care how you get on it as long as you're using Facebook.
Well, except they want to replace the. They completely want to be kind of not the OS of the phone, but they want to be your address book. They want, right? Because they are the world's address book with 100 million members.
If you they're better than Plaxo if you keep your stats up to date.
So you buy any phone, you just connect to Facebook, and hop, you have all your address book, everything.
Plus the pictures of the.
Exactly.
So this is the program that they were tweeting saying we could replace Dropio. It's Tonido, TONIDO.com, and they both sell.
That name.
I don't know. It's confusing. You know what it is, John? You can't find any more domains. You can't.
Yeah.
You can no longer own a domain that hasn't been taken, right?
No, actually,
so you could come up with baby talk.
Are coming up there.
Where'd you get the name Seismic, Loic?
Oh,
which is a good name. It's a good name.
It's a great name.
Like seismic.
Seismic.
Going to happen.
Yeah.
Seize the day.
And
seize the day.
I seize you. You seize me.
Intel has this basic theory that they. Well, it wasn't their theories. It was these naming convention guys. The idea was, and then of course it was adopted by AMD and others, is that you want the name to infer and imply different meaning. So when you had Pentium, you had it was also
Sounded
the
like a
586.
toothpaste. I would infer a
But there's also
toothpaste.
Pentagram for all you witchcraft people. I mean, Penta this, and there's
Christine O'Donnell.
and then the AMD chips all have an athletic side. Athlon sounds like athletic. It sounds like marathon. It sounds like athlete.
So that's why I named this company TWiT.
Yeah, because it sounds like a bunch of jerk-offs.
Bunch of morons.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Very good name.
Great name. So Seismic is just but now you started as a video. You started as a video company, so you completely changed.
No, it didn't. It wasn't related to video either. I think as an entrepreneur, you need to find names which are not close to brands that could attack you. That's the first thing.
Yep.
The second thing is
Twitter, like that. You mean?
Yeah.
For example, nothing with tweet in it. You never know, right?
They didn't exist when I named this company.
Yeah.
It was Odeo.
And actually, we had a chat about this name of this company, and you were at one point thinking of not using it. Remember?
I know. I wish I had done something else.
But we
No, you
No.
don't. You got the best name in the world.
Actually, I guess you're right now. It's okay.
I have a similar
There's
one,
always
Leo.
a
I
good
have
name.
acquired a little company called Ping FM, which
Ping.
allows you-
Yeah, you bought Ping. That's right.
Right, and then Apple launches Ping.
Ping.
Right?
So what do you
Right.
do?
Lawsuit.
Well,
Sue 'em.
first you try to wonder if you actually are going to be sued or not. You see what I mean?
They might sue you.
Yeah, because the
Bing
thing
too,
is,
I
you have a golf brand which also which actually has a trademark.
Ping is a
So
golf company too.
Right, so it gets actually a little complicated.
But when you get as my understanding, when you get a trademark, you get it in an area. Like we have a trademark. TWiT is a trademark in producing audio and video for the internet. So when I went to TWiT and Twitter, they said, "Well, that's fine because we're social media, you're podcasts, and the trademarks are in different areas. They don't conflict." And I think I accepted that. Same thing with Ping, except that Ping FM and Ping Apple, they're similar.
Yeah, actually, Ping FM would be a great name for them. I should probably sell them.
You just sell it to
Hey,
them.
Apple.
Just sell it to them. I do actually. I use Seismic Desktop. I love Seismic Desktop.
you, Leo.
That's a Silverlight app.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's PC and Mac, and it has 55 plugins, so you can add a lot of services. For example, Ning or very cool ones there is a Last FM plugin where you can even listen to music. We should do a TWiT, a Leo Laporte plugin.
Oh, we could.
You could have all your latest shows and
There's
play
so
them
there's
right
an
there.
API that makes it easy to do that.
Right, and as
cool.
that
That's
people
cool.
can get, and you could have your shows there and play them right there.
So if you're Foursquare, are you terrified at this point because Facebook's having this mobile event, and Facebook, in fact, we found out that more people have signed up for Places by a factor of 10
Oh,
that have
really?
signed up for
Yeah, that's easy
Foursquare.
picking
4 million Foursquare users,
Yeah.
something like 40 million Places users. Although I don't know if you use do you use Facebook Places, Lisa?
I don't because when it first came out, I wasn't able to do it in Canada, and now when I do it, I can never add any of my friends so I'm at this location and I can never add a friend. It never ever works.
Because your friends have wised up and they say, well, you're not going to add us.
And also
Because you can change, that's a privacy setting. That
it
they set.
is, and even with someone who Pete has this problem as well, so we can't tag each other. So it's kind of what's the point? And Foursquare and Gowalla all feed into Facebook Places anyways. So, and Gowalla lets me take a picture at the same time, which is what I want to do.
So you're Gowalla?
I am. I like taking pictures, and it's kind of just for me, rather than I'm announcing to the world where I am.
Hey, where's that photo you're supposed to send me?
Come on, John.
I'm on
That's
the
a side,
show.
That's a side conversation, John.
Saying.
Come on,
This
John.
is the time
Please,
to get. You can't
I
get
beg of you.
commitments from anybody unless you have them on the air.
She's busy doing things.
No,
John.
not that
working
far. I'm talking about the one you were going to send. That one that was that weird shot that I said it was on your website. That's got the she already forgot.
Lisa's a really accomplished photographer.
Yeah, she has some shots that are necessary to have on the wall.
I think so.
Yeah.
I've actually never printed any of my stuff.
Printed it all?
Well, just
No.
send me the thing. I'll print it.
My walls are blank. I kind of like to stare at a blank
You should get
canvas.
one of those giant Epson printers, like a 9800.
I have that.
yeah.
I love that.
What, you have a 9800?
No, I don't have a 9800. I have the 5200, something like that.
Okay,
Okay, well, that's
the
a
only
small
one
print. I'm
drinking.
talking about
It's 19 by 14.
I'm talking about a 44-incher.
Oh, no, that's huge.
You know what I'm talking
Where would
about,
you put
ladies and
that?
gentlemen, a 44-incher?
I know what you're talking about, John.
So,
where the hell would you put such
you
a
put
thing?
it in. You can have room in here. There's plenty of room out there for a 44-incher.
We can barely fit four
And then
people
you
into this
print
room.
giant posters.
It's a side business. So I actually still use Foursquare to check in on
Right.
Facebook. I don't use Places that often.
It's just one more thing. I mean, it does, when it first came out, I'm like, oh, this is great. Then I won't have, because I sort of have gone between Koala and Foursquare, and which one is actually.
Should people be afraid of Facebook? I mean, they really have become more and more dominant.
Well, yeah, obviously there's a problem with the whole whether they decide to just release your information, and there's
that privacy issue, but people should be afraid of Google for the same reason, right?
But at the end of the day, it's kind of like just censor yourself before you put yourself on the internet.
Loic, you kind of live a little bit. You're not exactly dependent on Facebook, but you live a little bit on the.
Well, a little bit. We have a lot of Facebook users, and you can of course add Facebook in pretty much all our apps. But so we're like, the risk is limited because we're on the Twitter ecosystem.
You were smart enough to diversify.
On Google.
Would you worry if you were only if you were a Facebook app developer, for instance?
I think it's very dangerous in general to be relying only on one platform. And Facebook has been extremely fast in embracing new trends, and the Foursquare versus Facebook.
Look at the old Microsoft experience.
Yeah.
Hey, let me see what you got there, buddy. Yeah, but that looks pretty good.
But
get out of here.
On the other hand, Microsoft built a platform that everybody built upon. I mean, all the
Microsoft has to steal their stuff.
Well, but that was the embrace and engulf and devour, embrace and extend model. So as long as you didn't let Microsoft in, and when because what they would do is they'd come to you and say, "We'd like to acquire you. Let us see everything."
Yeah, they want you to. Yeah,
and then
open the
once they'd seen everything, then they'd say, "Well, we decided not to buy you anyway. We're just going to
stuff is dumb.
We're just going to copy you.
Screw you."
But you get as a startup a lot of you shouldn't forget all the traction you get, and actually even Foursquare is getting.
Well, that's exactly it. So that's exactly it. So it's a platform which is I mean, Microsoft. We wouldn't have the PC revolution today if Microsoft hadn't come along and built a stable Windows platform that everybody could develop on.
That's an erroneous.
You don't think that's the case?
No, I don't think so at all.
Don't you need?
I think somebody else would have come along. It's always been that way in high tech.
Somebody would have done it, but somebody had to do it. Microsoft happened
somebody had to do it. It could have been digital research if they, were
DR-DOS.
If they had their act together at the time.
Gary Kildall hadn't gone for a plane flight.
You have to say that, if you remember, what was that one operating system that had the big fat arrow? It was one of the first GUI.
Gem or something.
Gem.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they went and pre-sold Gem to a whole bunch of people. If you talk to the lawyer, Gary Kildall's lawyer, and you hear these stories about how Gem was pre-sold to a whole bunch of companies, and Bill Gates personally went from place to place to place to place and unsold the deal.
Brilliant. See, but that's Bill Gates.
And this was
that's why it was Microsoft.
Yeah.
Because Bill was a shark.
But if it wasn't for Bill being a shark, somebody else would have come along. We still would have had a good system. Because look at the Apple. I mean, it wasn't sold that way. It was it's more passive, but it's fine.
But the reason I bring it up is because Facebook, at this point, I'm sure, is thinking of itself as a platform, right? They're saying, well, we don't want to own the universe. We want everybody to live in our ecosystem.
Yeah, but then they also, it's like, all of those platforms sometimes just shut down. If you remember the way they changed the way the apps can post to the stream, right? Do you remember an app called Super Wall?
Yeah.
That's gone.
It's gone because you can't do it.
Went from like 10 million users to 0, I think.
So the risk is that they've developed a platform, but they're not consistently supporting the developers.
It's very risky. The minute they decide you're too spammy or you're too, or you make a deal with them, like Zynga has grown so much in the game industry because they were the first ones to really jump into the social.
But I noticed that Zynga is running its own servers now, and as you can do Farmville on the iPad and the iPhone, they've clearly said, well, we're not going to put all our eggs in the Facebook
they're
basket.
smart.
And also they're giving a lot of money to Facebook.
They're paying Facebook.
Oh, yeah. They share revenues. They buy a lot of advertising.
So Facebook has an incentive for them to see. But see, this was changed because Microsoft didn't take this is what Apple wants to do with its App Store. Microsoft didn't take a cut of all the software sold on Windows.
No, and now they probably regret that, by the way.
They wish they'd thought of that, but they didn't do it.
No, these models change over
and
time.
they made a stable API. And if there's one thing you could say Microsoft did, for better or for worse, it was support legacy software. They were very careful never to change Windows.
Because they modeled themselves after IBM, which was a huge legacy freak. And Microsoft wanted to do
So here's the question. Should Facebook be operating that way? Is it, there's certainly short-term better for them to be cutthroat and protect the platform, but doesn't it scare away developers too? I mean, doesn't that hurt the ecosystem?
I think they're really becoming the social platform, and that's
So you have to play.
I think you have to play, and
I
you
think
get
they might as well
so
be
many
brutal.
users, right? It's
Go
a question
for it.
of a risk against
Right. So
reward and attraction.
they're
Play the
actually
cutthroat
operating.
game.
You have to.
They're operating from such a position of strength and power.
They might as well abuse it.
They might as well squeeze everybody.
This is a Silicon Valley model.
They're the first real challenger to Google.
Yeah, they are.
Because if you do
Google knows
search in
this.
terms of social, you get so much more information by the filter of your friends, of course.
Google knows this, and they have meetings once in a while, I'm sure. They say, what are we going to do? I don't know. Let's see what their next move is.
Google does.
We'll figure it out later.
Yeah, let's.
Do like Microsoft did with Windows won't run till Lotus won't. Windows won't
Ain't done until
Lotus won't run.
Won't run.
Kind of model. Google can pull something off.
So it's going to be a very small backlash for Dropio, but those of us who use and love Dropio are going to be pissed off that Facebook did this. I mean, I have to say, and that's all Facebook
of our
did.
art on No Agenda was
Dropio.
Yeah,
I love Dropio, and I don't know if I should be mad at Sam Lesson or be mad at Mark Zuckerberg. Who should?
Both.
I'm blame them all.
Yeah,
They're all sons of bitches.
yeah. Notice how Leo's like opening up his vocabulary. I'm inspired
by No Agenda.
Street argot.
I think that street argot. I think that I've learned from you guys.
Adam's got a foul mouth. What can I say?
He does, and it's working for us.
I rarely cuss.
Nobody paid $333.33 to be a producer on this show. Although I told you after I
you
mentioned
want to get
that.
into the Ford thing? How much money?
Okay, let's talk about Ford. Actually,
Yeah,
this would be a
let's
good time to mention Ford.
It's a good. Wow, am I good or what?
I want you to drive a Ford Fiesta. Now, how am I going to do a commercial from over here? Okay, I'm going to have to. Let's get back here. Hey, everybody, Leo Laporte here. This is not going to work. We had such a good time. We went to the Rouge plant in Detroit, which is where the power of industrial America in many ways was born. This is the plant that Henry Ford built in the 20s when he realized that so many people were going to buy Ford automobiles that he needed to control the entire chain. In the Rouge plant, would arrive by ship, metal, not even metals, iron ore would arrive by boxcar, and at the other end of the plant, a car would come out. I mean, just an amazing place. And in the 21st century, I think Ford is reinventing itself. Now go to the Rouge plant, the plant we went to. It's light, it's sunny. They have a green roof that's actually growing, which helps them keep it cool, absorbs water. It really helps the environment. It's really pretty an amazing place. If you get a chance, if you're in the Dearborn area, they do have tours of it. And it's just amazing. And then once you see how they're building their automobiles, you get a real sense of pride in the fact that what I thought was dying, frankly, which was industrial America, is actually turning the corner in the 21st century. They took no money from the government. They're profitable. They're doing a great job. I want you to take a look at the Ford Fiesta, just a spectacular new car with an EPA estimated 40 highway miles per gallon. No other compact car is more fuel efficient, and that's just the beginning. Oh, don't laugh at John. It just eggs him on. Where's the glasses? Get John the glasses.
Thank you very much.
It's not complete, John, unless you have the glasses. We'll get you the glasses.
Like an old woman.
You do. This is why I'm saying you need the glasses.
There's the glasses right there.
The glasses kind of, without the glasses, nobody knows that you're the king of rock and roll.
Toss.
Oh, man. Everybody. This is the Halloween edition.
It is.
John, you look like Larry Bud Melman.
Thank you very much. Bud Melman. Thanks. Yeah. Dave,
John C. Dvorak as Larry Bud
I can't
Melman.
remember
In
what
the Larry
I was
Bud
supposed to
Melman
say.
story.
I can't read the prompter.
In a time when one man, short,
Thank you very
fat,
much. Thank you
and
very
bald, could own the entire media empire.
Leo, I worry because every time I come here, something like this happens, and people blame it on me.
It's your fault.
They think you are at fault?
They
She's
think
a troublemaker.
I create the hat madness.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
I'll be like, oh,
You should give
it's
her
not
nothing but
Lisa's fault.
It is her fault.
It's not
We're just
Lisa's
trying to show
fault.
off where
This
to
is
get her
how it
attention.
is.
That's what guys do.
Oh, you're showing off.
Disgusting.
You're right. You know what? You're right.
You're the one that was showing off your gut a minute ago, so that's like, oh,
Really?
almost
Did I
got her.
actually
Almost
bare
got
my
her.
midriff?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. That must have been a very... that is not... I'll be honest with you, John. Clearly not calculated to win a woman's heart. Let me just put it that way. If I had a six-pack, okay, maybe.
Just pulling out the kerosene.
We didn't light the fire. EcoBoost V6 engine in this Fiesta is incredible. 365 horsepower. That's standard in the SHO. The Ford Fiesta has the, I wish I could remember the acronym. The really cool, high-efficiency engine. It's just very peppy.
Output.
It is. That's what SHO means. But no, I mean it's the TI VCT engine in the
I don't know.
Fiesta. It's just an awesome car. I want you to take a look at Ford. And, of course, all of those cars, you get the Ford Sync, and that's so key. Take a drive today at a Ford dealer near you, the Ford Fiesta, and take a look at the Ford Sync, the hands-free. Awesome.
So they won some advertising award recently for their advertising.
Did you see? Well, they do these great viral things, like the Lamborghini versus Fiesta.
On the ball. They're the only guys I know that they sponsor this show, which is not a trivial thing to do.
No, they're savvy. They're savvy. I was exactly the word I would use. They were at Blog World doing test drives because they want bloggers to be aware. Now she's got the.
You have this cord back in here?
Yes.
Hey, will you stop touching Lisa like this? John, come on.
What did he just say? I don't understand.
I said stop touching Lisa like this.
I'm grabbing Lisa.
I don't understand.
Maybe I should try French.
Yeah, you know what?
Do your French accent, Leo.
No, because if I do the French accent with Loic here, it would be embarrassing. Perhaps he would say it is insulting to the...
No. We're never insulted, Leo, you know.
You know,
it's
I know one thing.
Perfect.
En français, they love the American accent because Americans, it's very cute, isn't it?
Yes, it's very good. No, I really like your accent, Leo, by the way.
I say ouais because it sounds like I'm saying, yeah.
So you're getting ready to Paris?
Oh, oui.
They're looking forward.
Oh, yeah. Je suis arrivé à Paris avec mon entourage.
This is Lisa's fault.
Perfect. Very good.
Seriously, I'm telling you, it's really. I've actually have it.
I don't have to.
I have a contract in the show, and she's not supposed to be here.
I don't have to present in French, do I, at Le Web?
Yeah, you have to. Oh, did I not tell you?
Oh, crap.
You're going. Tu fais un show en français.
Oh,
the entire
crap.
show
En français.
En français
So
too.
I was going to go to Paris this week for the broadband conference, and I just said no. Because they're on strike. You're going to get stuck
that
there.
strike will be done, right, Louis? Oh, I don't care if I get stuck in Paris. I really don't.
No. This is near Christmas. So near Christmas,
Nobody
we generally
strikes.
stop the strikes because we have to rest.
We have to rest for Christmas. We're getting the time off anyway, so why strike?
Exactly. No strikes in December, I hope.
So I'm going to do on the 8th it will be in Paris, it'll be 6 p.m., but here it'll be, I think, 9 a.m.
Right.
And we will stream it live. You stream the whole thing live via Ustream, don't you?
Yeah, we had 250,000 people watch live.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Up to 10,000
So what is the show? What's it for?
Le Web.
It's Le Web.
Le Web. The Le Web show.
It's
well, that's Loic's show.
Going to the Le Web show. Yeah, he's the Le Web guy.
Scoble talks about Mike Arrington goes every year. That was the year, a couple of years ago that Mike Arrington, that fits you beautifully. You should wear that.
I'll keep it.
He's wearing the Uncle Sam hat.
It's in Paris, and it's all in English. And when we started, we said, if you don't speak English, don't show up. And the French press loved it, of course. We did it at the Senate.
But then Mike Arrington said European entrepreneurs are lazy.
Yeah, Mike showed up and said
totally
that...
It's a known fact.
Well,
Arrington's right.
It's too late. You can't go now. It's all right.
I can't go anyway. I never get invited to these things. I'm snubbed.
Well, I'm happy to invite you
Too
right
late.
now.
I can't go now. I can't afford to get a ticket this last month. Yeah.
He's clever this way, John.
Well, actually, Lisa is coming. So
Is she?
I am.
What?
Are you?
Everyone goes to the web. Oh,
you're going?
I'm going. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
here they go.
I don't know that either. Great.
My voice did go up, didn't it? It went up a little bit. You're going? Oh, how exciting.
So, yeah, you're not going to say that the Europeans are lazy, right?
Hell no.
Oh, yeah. You should.
No, you know what?
Don't be cowed by this guy.
I aspire to the European way. You enjoy life. You don't work 70, 80 hours a week. You take August off. But you still accomplish something. Look at me. I work 11 to 2:30 every day.
Right, exactly.
And then I have a long lunch. I take a nap. And that's done. I'm done for the day. Isn't that how they do it in Vancouver?
Vancouver.
Your voice is getting high too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Go
have
ahead.
to say that the people I've met here who run startups work 20 hours a day.
Really interesting article, and I recommend everybody read the New York Times today, a profile of Ev Williams, Twitter. And Jason's told me this as well, that entrepreneurs, maybe you can defend yourself, Loic. Entrepreneurs are kind of messed up.
Yeah. Well, actually, Mike had a great article today. Have you seen it? Pirate?
No.
Pirate.
On TechCrunch?
On TechCrunch, yeah. He's at the top of TechMeme, too.
I'm sorry, on AOL TechCrunch?
He's saying that entrepreneurs are pirates, and in which they don't respect any rules. They just go wild.
That's what makes them.
Exactly, and they don't fear risk. If they fail, it's okay.
If you believed in the status quo, you wouldn't make a good entrepreneur because you wouldn't be creating, right?
Exactly. So it's just not boring. It's cool. So,
but I think the main thing is focus.
I like it. Are you a pirate?
So now, since you're going to Le Web and he's going to Le Web, he has to take you to a good restaurant while you're there.
I don't have to because Loic's having a speaker dinner that's going to be on Wednesday night.
Where is this chicken French style?
No. Where is the speaker dinner?
No, it's in a gallery which is going. It's like a museum. It's going to be all privatized for us. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah. How many people?
What, in that place?
Yeah. How many people at that dinner?
Well, we have more than 100 speakers.
Yeah, see, there you go. It's going to be a rubber chicken.
It's a great event. If you're in Europe, December 8th and 9th, you should go to Les Docs. It's not too late to get tickets, is it?
No, leweb.net. Absolutely not.
All right. Le Rubber Chicken. Are you a pirate? Well, here's the thing. This Ev Williams article talks about how Ev, as a kid growing up in Nebraska, he says 50 miles from nowhere, instead of being rebellious as a teenager, his attitude was, screw it, I'll do it myself. He was a loner. And he had the attitude, I'll do it myself. And this is a struggle, according to this article, and I thought it was quite a I don't know who wrote it, I'll have to find out, quite a well-written profile of Ev, said essentially that Ev's problem all along, he's solved it somewhat now, in fact, Dick Costello coming along is really a change for him, was that he did it all by himself, and some things he didn't do very well. And I
don't want to get into it.
Well, like scaling.
No, I'm not. I'm thinking about other things.
But blogger and they talk a little bit about some of his partners who felt kind of forced out. Not merely Jack Dorsey, who was the founder of Twitter and former CEO, who was forced out by Ev, but even partners at Blogger and at Pyra and some other places. So, but it's a great profile. Obviously, Ev, cooperated with him, and I think it was very interesting. And I've been told this before, that in order to be an entrepreneur, you have certain antisocial attributes, perhaps. You think so?
Yeah, I live with one.
Yeah, Pete Cashmore of Mashable is a perfect example.
Yeah, I think it's, I mean,
he's a great guy, and he's very affable, but at the same time, he's driven.
Well, he works possibly, 20 hours a day.
Right.
And it's that focus that I wish I would have known from age, 13 on, exactly what I wanted to do.
Now, Lisa, because you were a figure skater.
I was a figure skater.
You working towards the Olympics. You had that kind of drive. You couldn't have done it without that kind of drive.
But, to start that early in tech, because I just...
Well, you blew it. You did something where you blow your back, you're kind of dead.
Yeah. But one thing...
It's not your fault. I mean, you could have... who knew that was... at least had an accident. Her partner dropped her on her head.
There was a flat spot. He has a soft spot on his head.
I do. My fontanelle never closed. It's a sad story.
It is.
Do entrepreneurs, somebody's asking in the chat room, Adrian wants to know, make good spouses or boyfriends?
Well,
I think Adrian wants to know if you're available.
Nah, make lousy ones. Yeah, good luck when you get home.
No, Pete's not watching. He's writing right now. He's busy.
He probably is watching to see what.
No, he's not watching.
You're constantly hitting on this poor woman.
Me.
The solution is to get two entrepreneurs together.
Yeah, I'm a workaholic as well, so it works out really well.
Absolutely.
That we can have dinner in front of our computers and not talk.
Right.
Just
in your bed, you can tweet yourself.
Yeah, it's good.
That's what we do all the time with Charlene, my wife.
Now, Geraldine, is she an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I'm actually completely full of it, as always, because she actually organizes the entire conference, the web.
She does, yeah.
95% more of my time is going to Seismic, and she does everything. So I host and I invite speakers, but yeah.
What is Ev has a family. A lot of entrepreneurs have families. We were talking with Jay Adelson. We did a great interview with Jay Adelson earlier this week. And he talked about startups as an addiction.
Yeah.
He said, because we were talking about the stress of being for sale, because Dig was for sale a couple of times and went through all the due diligence, and you don't know if you're sold yet. The lawyers get, and just the stress of it. I said, how do you survive? They said, survive it. I'm addicted to it. I have to have that. I have to have that daily. What are we going to do? What's next? How do we survive?
It's definitely not about money. It's
not about money. That's
the passion of building something, and then if you fail, you know, it's okay. You rather avoid it, but we have 3 kids. If we were asking about family, we also have 3 kids. So.
You have 3 kids? I know you do. Yeah.
Do you remember their names?
I'm training them to be entrepreneurs too. So I'm solving that.
How do you train somebody to be an entrepreneur?
No, I don't know.
Make them work.
Well,
get to work. This is their 5. Get to work.
This is a somewhat legitimate question because I am on the board of trustees of the local high school. And I'm of the opinion that the best thing you could teach kids today is not to be a good worker in a cubicle, but how to do their own thing.
You need to inspire them, and I think, you know, if what you have in this country, which is really cool, that entrepreneurs are generally heroes. You know,
they are.
Steve Jobs is a hero,
celebrated, yes.
And you know, Google founders, Sergey and Larry are heroes. And well, you know, like in Europe, generally, it's more like you hide success. You don't show it, and I think that's amazing.
In Mexico, you get kidnapped.
But I would say that's the best way, Leo, is really to show the way. And you know, actually, the Facebook movie, seeing Zuck, and of course
that may inspire a whole generation.
Yeah, they want.
You're right.
Like we want with my 3 boys, and you can say what you want about the movie; it's entertaining. And at the end, they're like, "Oh, but you can create that in what? In 5? You did this in 5 years,
or 5 seconds if you're Zuck."
Yeah.
Right.
No, you're right. You're right.
That's how you do it.
I talked a lot about the negatives of the movie because I knew too much, and I knew that it was a lot of it was fictionalized, and I hated the way women were treated in the movie. But
but it promotes entrepreneurship, right?
It did. The bottom line was that and this is what Larry Lessig said in his review of it in the New Republic. He said, what the bottom line of this is, you don't need permission. You don't need Harvard's permission. You don't need the internet's permission. You just do it, and that's a big change.
Exactly. So I think that's the best you can teach them, you know, is to, you know, just do it. And it's so easy these days. I'm actually trying to get them to learn to code iPhone apps. And
are you really? How old are they?
9, 13, and 15. But I failed so far completely. But honestly, as an entrepreneur, I try to hire iPhone developers here. Good luck, right? They're
really?
Like, oh, it's so expensive, $100,000.
Because it's such a useful skill.
Yeah, they're very young, and they can make so much money by themselves with just having their own apps or coding for someone that they don't, you know, you can't find any in terms of, you know, hiring a team of developers.
That's the other side of all of this entrepreneurship is, yeah, we're creating a generation that runs its own business, but how do you find employees who are content to work for a salary?
Exactly.
So maybe the solution is not to find people like that, but to find partners or to find contract employees.
Well, it forces you to have them, you know, in the equity of a company with stock options or strong equity. I think it's great. It's a great dynamic going on that everybody is an entrepreneur somehow. But yeah, if you are 15 years old, you can make quite a bit of money on the App Store and other, you know, marketplaces.
Yeah.
And so.
What's interesting is...
look at you, Lisa. You made a little packet on that Camera Plus.
I did, yes. Yeah. What's interesting is there's been this sort of... a lot of people are talking about how there aren't any women in tech. Why aren't there any women in tech? And I mean, you don't see that. And I think it's just that confidence from a really early age and the focus. Because, you know,
do you think we can raise girls today, so that doesn't happen in the next generation?
Well,
give them confidence.
I mean, I don't think that it's necessarily a really horrible thing that there aren't that many women in tech, because it's just sort of an interest level.
Okay.
And I don't know. I mean, in watching what it takes to run a startup, I don't know many women who would want to dedicate, 20 hours a day, no personal life, all those things.
Truthfully, I don't know a lot of guys that want to do that either. I mean, we know them because they're all in Silicon Valley.
Yeah, yeah.
But you go outside of this bubble that we're in, most people would say, what are you, nuts?
Mm-hmm. I mean, as someone who's gone through the process of being kind of accepted into the tech community, and I had a lot of problems getting into it because people were like, oh, you're just a girl, blah, 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 you don't know. I think that there's, still a problem with one, like having that interest really early on.
Right.
Because it seems like, if you're...
What should the role of women be then in technology?
The booth babes.
Oh, come on, Lisa.
She's nailed it. What are you guys arguing about with it for? You guys, the big defenders of the women's rights. These two guys. What a couple of phonies.
Okay.
You don't like booth babes? Is that what you're saying?
I hate myself for liking booth babes.
Okay. Oh, that's different.
No, I think
Let's get into the psychology of that.
No, I don't think so.
I think we're seeing, there are some women in high power positions,
but you know what happens though is they're seen as domineering, bitches, controlling, unpleasant. You look at Meg Whitman or Carly Fiorina, and the hell they're getting in the political sphere.
Yeah.
They're not treated, or Hillary Clinton. They're not treated as the men would be treated. Oh, John, stop looking at me like that. I'm just trying to make some hay here.
You can try all you want. He's living with an entrepreneur.
I couldn't live with. I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm a small businessman. I'm a small businessman, getting smaller all the time.
Maybe shrinking, but it's beside the point.
I am a small businessman. Carol Bartz. There's an example of someone.
She cusses a lot.
Who cusses a lot?
Nobody says anything about Dianne Feinstein or Barbara Boxer, who's an idiot.
Okay.
Nobody says bad things about her.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah, well, that's another thing that in tech, if you're a girl with boobs,
what about a girl without boobs, a flat-chested woman?
you're not as good a chance.
Well, she's the one who highlighted the boobs, not me.
Well, it is easier for a woman like that to get in a position of,
as it were,
of power. But
I'm sorry. I mean, what am I was on the chat room a second.
You've been working with Adam Curry way too long, John.
There's another example. It's Marissa Mayer of Google.
Now, there's an example of somebody who's treated with great respect. She's going to be at LeWeb.
Yeah, she got engaged at LeWeb almost on stage.
Oh, that's nice.
So now that's why we never change the dates of LeWeb, because
that's
Marissa
her
is
anniversary.
Coming back every year. It's been 3 years.
But there's a very good example of somebody who has a huge impact at Google, is a very important person, is treated, I think, respectfully, and she's attractive. I mean, nobody's. I mean, it's not like. So there you go. There's maybe the exception that proves the rule. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just
you
that
should see the room when she shows up on stage. Everybody's like. Shuts up, silence, right? And
well, she's Marissa Mayer.
So I think
Larry Page would get the same.
Yeah,
great.
It is if you use it in the right way, and obviously,
How did we
there are
get
a lot
on this
of
topic.
I don't know.
I brought it up because
I like the topic. I think it's a fascinating topic. I don't mind the.
No, I'm just saying. I didn't say it was bad. I just said, how did we get on it?
Well, you want to shall I rewind for you and we can listen?
No, I don't care. I just mentioned it just to keep people.
I want to talk about something called Fire Sheep in just a bit. We also have some Google news. Some big transitions at Google.
What about this top story, the Netflix story?
And we'll talk about the Netflix story. Absolutely. I thought that was very telling that Reed Hastings, in fact, I was shocked what Reed Hastings said. But we'll talk about that in a second. Before we do, I'd like to remind you that you can back up your data with Carbonite and sleep right tonight. Do you ever fear that your data might not be safe? If you're backing it up on an external hard drive, hey, that's good. I'm glad you're doing it, and I encourage you to keep doing that. But what if the worst happens? There's a fire, or the flood, or an earthquake, or somebody breaks in. It happened to Francis Ford Coppola. Somebody broke into his house in Argentina, stole his computer. He'd been assiduously backing up all his scripts and notes to an external hard drive. They stole that too. He said he was devastated. He said, I lost 20 years of work because that was my only backup. You've got to have an off-site backup. And you've got to have one that's automatic so you don't have to remember. That's where Carbonite is so great. Windows or Mac, you install it. You can do it right now. In fact, before I'm done talking, you can have it installed. Go to Carbonite.com. Use the offer code TWiT. 2 weeks free. You don't need a credit card or anything, just the name TWiT. Once you install it, it's now immediately backing up. Whenever you're not using your computer, whenever you're online, it's trickling up your data to the internet. Once it's backed up, then you'll stay backed up no matter, as you work. All your stuff is safe. You can access it. You could verify it by logging into your Carbonite account from any computer or from an iPhone or an Apple. They have a free iPhone app or a BlackBerry app, free BlackBerry app, and see if your data is there. You can even download it. So it's always available to you. I love Carbonite. I want you to try it free. Go to Carbonite.com. Use TWiT as the coupon code. You could try it free. If you decide to buy, normally it's $55 a year, which I think is a great deal for unlimited backup, all your personal data on your internal hard drive. If you use the offer code TWiT, you'll save 2 months free. So it's a really good deal.
Actually, my mom, who now watches this show every week,
good.
She told me, do you back up?
You better.
I don't.
What?
But I will.
Wait a minute. Because every photographer,
I have like 3 or 4 copies of every photo I've ever taken since 1999.
If you're a serious photographer, backup is like job one, isn't it?
I know. Well, I do on hard drives, but every time I move, it's, you know.
Can I set you up with Carbonite?
Yeah.
I'll call him for you.
I will for sure use it.
So let's go back to this original story that set up this commercial.
Netflix.
No, Coppola.
Yeah, isn't that a story?
Is this a real story?
Yeah.
What was he doing? I thought he lived in the Napa Valley.
Yeah, he has a winery, and he has there's the Francis Ford Coppola Museum. He has now up at his winery with his Oscars and his.
But he
was living in Argentina for quite a while.
Why?
I hear Argentina's great. I'm going there in February.
Everybody says Argentina.
It's the France of South America.
Yeah, the Paris.
Paris of South America.
Buenos Aires is the Paris.
They have the Champs-Élysées.
So,
no.
I don't know. I would love to go to
So the question is that
I'm going in February. I can't wait.
He didn't have the same material backed up here in the Napa Valley. He lugged it down there and really.
Yeah,
this is a true story.
Yeah, I'll find if I can find the article. It happened last year.
No, that's a mistake.
He said 20 years worth of work lost. I mean, isn't that horrible?
That's terrible.
I have a friend, a well-known novelist. I won't say her name because I don't have permission to, but she lived in the Oakland Hills. Was writing a novel. She had a local backup. Her house burned down in the Oakland Hills fire.
Yeah, Michael Rogers, that happened to him. The Newsweek writer, also a novelist.
Lost the novel.
Here's the irony of Michael's thing. He had his novel in a fireproof safe, but apparently a fireproof safe doesn't protect against the firestorm temperatures.
Right.
So the thing was cooked.
Melted.
It melted, yeah. So you can't.
Thieves in Argentina. This was in 2007. I'm looking at an article from BBC News. Thieves in Argentina have stolen a computer from U.S. film director Francis Ford Coppola, which contains a script for his new production. 5 armed robbers raided his house in Buenos Aires, took computers and camera equipment. And I don't know if I can find the quote on this article.
Armed robbers?
Yeah.
Oh, so they came barreling in?
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that horrible? So, Ralph Ellison, Invisible Man. Classic story, right? He had written a second novel. It somehow got destroyed. I don't know. Well, obviously it wasn't a computer error, but he never wrote another novel.
Well, Carlyle had a entire novel thrown in the fire by the maid.
That's right.
And he just said, "What happened to my manuscript?" And
I burned it.
I think it's burned. And so he says, and so he just wrote it again.
It's probably better the second time, right?
It is always.
If it's not devastating to you, and that's what happened to Ralph Ellison. I think he had no energy.
He didn't write a lot of books.
Yeah.
He just wrote
one.
The one is the killer. I mean, that
one's
book,
good enough.
If anybody wants to read a good novel, read The Invisible Man.
If you write The Invisible Man, you probably could stop.
And it's not about an invisible man. It's about it's a piece of literature.
Claude Rains isn't.
No, Claude Rains is not in the thing, and he doesn't disappear.
Disappointed. So the Netflix story. Reed Hastings, CEO of Netflix, is speaking to a Canadian newspaper in Toronto, and I guess he feels Americans probably don't read Canadian newspapers because he makes an admission. I didn't know this, but they recently opened Netflix up in Canada. That's I'm sure huge news, right? Canadians have been. I know from we have a lot of Canadian listeners. Every time I talk about Netflix, they get pissed. So they're charging $7.99 in Canada for something they charge, I think, $15 or $16 here. So it's half as much. And the reporter for the Globe or whatever it is asks him, "Well, how come aren't Americans going to be up in arms?" He said, "Oh, you don't have to worry. Americans
right, yeah, I remember.
They pay no attention to anything that happens in Canada. They'll never notice." Well, now you notice, okay?
Well, isn't this too? I mean, because it's taken so long for them to get
Maybe
there.
he's
Is this
feeling
like
bad.
kickbacks just to get
Maybe he's feeling
more
bad.
Canadians on board?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have Hulu, so give us a break.
We have Hulu. It's not such a great thing.
I love Hulu.
Do you?
My 2 favorite things about being in America: Hulu Plus and Amazon Prime.
You like Hulu Plus?
Yes.
Now Hulu Plus still has ads, right? Does it have more TV shows than Hulu?
Yeah. It has like all the current episodes.
Because I'm a member of Hulu Plus. Apparently, they're going to charge $4.95 instead of $10 for that. By the way, they're going to cut that in half. Thank goodness. You think it's worth it?
I do, because I don't have a TV. I don't have cable. So if I want to watch any of the sort of trashy shows that I sometimes watch,
Nobody has to know.
Nobody has to know.
You know, I made a big mistake, and I admit this was a huge mistake. I connected, you know about Blippi.com?
Yes.
It's the website where you connect your credit cards and Netflix and iTunes. It's like a social, it's like Twitter, but it tweets automatically whenever you buy or watch something. So my Netflix streaming is on there.
So it's embarrassing when you watch like the
How many Bond
Kardashians.
movies have been like streamed?
Wow.
Yeah, it's the
Live
Bond.
to all your-
It's the Bond movies. That's what it is. Yeah, it's a little
That's what happens when you
insane.
do everything. Like you do.
Embarrassing. Sometimes living in public can be embarrassing.
Yeah, I did with my last FM stream. I censored, like I would turn it off when I'd listen to like
Bad rap
Yeah.
music. What is the music that embarrasses you to listen to?
probably Britney Spears.
Whoa! Yo!
I liked when I clean my apartment. I like to listen to some happy tunes that and then I'm right back to my ultra indie like cool songs.
Uh-huh.
So you only do this when Pete's not around.
Well, he's not cleaning the apartment. I'll tell you that much.
There you go.
Entrepreneurs do not clean the apartment.
Starting a little battle.
So does
Yeah.
it
Yeah, so this
make
is
you
me.
feel like cleaning up a little bit?
Yeah, like that's me.
Want to
Needs
straighten
a
up?
lot of work.
Oh,
Oh!
she got too excited. Oh, we have a wine spill on
no.
the keyboard. Wait a minute,
that
quick!
broke
Pop the
out.
battery. Pop the battery. Pop the battery. Can you pop the battery on that one? Paper towels are coming.
Macintosh, it seems
Paper
unlikely.
towels are coming. Oh man, I should never play the Britney Spears. She actually started
did you say
dancing.
that?
Wow.
You should drink wine, not spill wine.
Oh
With this
man.
wine, it's
I
optional.
don't believe that wine is
Is it?
covered by Apple
Actually,
Care.
so John, I was Googling you, and you've actually been a writer
Yeah,
about
I have
wine,
a
right?
news.
Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah. This
About
guy knows what he's
wine.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a
I
wine
didn't know that.
collector,
I'm sorry.
actually.
That's
One
how
of
he
my
started.
friends just told me on Twitter.
I
Say
mean,
why.
well, you don't have to be sorry
Who
about
says?
Well, he was making some fairly derogatory comments
it. That's
about
fine. That's what people should do.
you. No, he wasn't. I'm just kidding.
No, I collect Bordeaux.
Lisa, please, you
collect
can't
Bordeaux?
pop the.
Oh, yeah.
You
What's
can't
your
pop the
favorite
battery on
Bordeaux?
there.
I'm gonna interview.
Please, let's
John.
have. Would you please go ahead have a little conversation?
My favorite Bordeaux, Margaux.
Margot?
Yeah.
Huh.
Chateau Margaux. But, generally speaking, the weird thing about Chateau Margaux is that some people you like Margaux? And they always do a showdown, typically with Margaux and Latour, which are kind of interesting opposites. One's a masculine and one's a feminine wine. And I always prefer the Latour,
Yeah.
almost all the time. And then when it really comes down to it, the wine I have most of is Haut-Brion.
So now, Haut-Brion is amazing. Palmer is pretty good too. Now, tell me, how do you? No, you don't like Palmer?
I love Palmer, but I've always found that I've been upsold on Palmer in too many restaurants, and I'm always disappointed because just a long story. I've been to the chateau, and I'm not as much of a fan as I could be. I mean, I enjoy Palmer, but it's not.
Bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs, et bienvenue
What else
à
do you need to know?
le
What do you be serving
dialogue
at the
du vin
fabulous
avec
100
Jean-Sylvain
person dinner?
Dvorak et Monsieur Loic
Chinon,
Meur.
undoubtedly.
Beaucastel?
Aujourd'hui, nous...
Do you like Beaucastel?
Yeah, it's okay.
You should come to Paris this year. We'll organize a...
Why don't we bring him to Le Web?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could be my roomie.
Whoa!
But you're starting again.
Yeah, quick, get the wine away from Lisa.
Lisa, I wouldn't
Get the
move.
wine away. Either take one or two
Didn't
things.
drink
Take the
anything,
wine away or
actually.
the
All ended
laptop
up on
away,
the
but
laptop.
they can't have both. Yeah. And Lisa, you're going to back up, aren't you, dear?
Yes.
Yes.
Now she's been embarrassed. She's humiliated by
No,
coming
she's
on the
not.
show. I don't blame her.
No, she's not. And we just kicked Lisa's laptop out of chat so that you don't have to worry about it.
All right.
No, John Jammer B won't take it over.
So why, you a Chateauneuf drinker? Is that the deal?
No. I just like Beaucastel, and he's also a good friend, Perrin.
Oh,
yeah.
well, that's different.
Loic is well connected.
We have Gary V also on stage. Going to... Wow! Gary, you don't have a friend here if you listen. we had. He's entertaining.
Gary is the Billy Mays of wine. Is that wrong? Is that wrong to say
That
that?
sounds about right.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were thinking. So Foursquare's doing some interesting promotion, actually. Speaking of Foursquare, today, if you tweet from anywhere, and in fact, I'd like to invite you all to tweet, we could do a Halloween swarm.
Ooh.
If you tweet from anywhere and say Happy Halloween, you'll get a Halloween badge.
Oh.
On Tuesday, if you tweet I voted, you'll get an I voted badge, which I think is actually a very good use.
Yeah, I really love their sort of promoting healthy living, and like you can check in and get different. I would probably exercise more if I had badges for everything.
Wouldn't that be good?
I really would.
Yeah, I'm a gym rat. I got the gym rat badge. Yeah. All you have to do.
But
Okay.
even like I tried to work out for 45 minutes. Like I tried. Like thumbs up.
You should get a badge for that. Why don't you actually work out for 45 minutes and get a badge for that?
Well, yeah, but just like smaller, like those running apps. It's embarrassing if you just run for 1 mile, but sometimes that's where you've got to start.
I think they should 1 mile badge would be fine.
Yeah.
Loic, how far do you run every day? I know you're a runner.
I'm running the New York Marathon next week. So,
So he's a serious runner.
Don't you hate this guy?
I've run 145 miles in October.
145 miles?
In October.
So like 10 a day and like
wow.
every
That's
other
amazing.
day.
That's
Well,
really
I
amazing.
don't. It's the first time in my life, and I'm getting quite addicted.
I think I'm going to run to Seattle.
We'll see.
We'll chase you,
getting
John,
quite
if you'd like. Would that help incent you? With pitchforks.
Next topic.
Dennis Crowley, the founder of Foursquare, is also running it.
Oh,
I would guess that entrepreneurs are frequently runners. It seems like those would be related kind of.
Well, and it's easy. You travel. You just need your shoes, and it's going to be fun because we'll have those apps. Runkeeper, which streams your position live. So you'll be able to follow us during the marathon, the speed live, and so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, you can run. If you're running, you can just travel with your shoes. So do you ever notice these guys who golfers? They bring this huge bag of clubs wherever they go.
I've just unlocked the Halloween 2010 badge.
Yeah, whatever.
But there's a Halloween
Nobody
swarm.
cares. Nobody
If you
cares.
would all please check into Foursquare.
How about going to the Twitter and giving me some more numbers?
Going to the Twitter?
Oh, come
Real
on.
Dvorak.
Okay.
Did you actually call it the Twitter?
The Twitter, and the real Dvorak needs a couple more followers.
Okay,
I can't quite get it.
follow him on the Twitter, kids.
On the Twitter.
Have you heard about fire sheep? This is it.
Yes, that is
It's a little
the
scary.
concern.
We did a story on it, entire show with Steve Gibson on Security Now. If you want to know the technical details, but I'll give you the short and sweet if I can figure out a clean and easy way to say this. Let's put it this way: when you go on your web browser to a site like Facebook, the first time you go there, you log in. But you don't want to have to log in every time you go to a new page on Facebook. So Facebook, to simplify this, and a lot of sites do this, sends you a token, a cookie that is identifiable as you for this session. Then every time you move pages on Facebook, that page says, all right, let me see the cookie. It sees the token. It says, okay, it's you. And so you don't have to re-log in. It's a nice convenience. Here's the problem. If somebody can get in the middle of that transaction and grab that cookie, then they can impersonate you for the period of time that session's going on. This has been well known to hackers for a long time. It requires ARP spoofing or a man-in-the-middle attack. It's a non-trivial attack. Well, it was until Wednesday when a guy put out a Firefox extension called Fire Sheep. 500,000 people have downloaded Fire Sheep to date. You can go to codebutler.com and get it for yourself. I did. I went to my local coffee shop, and it, without any additional effort, without any additional trouble, grabs that token, puts a list in a sidebar on your Firefox showing you all the people in the open access spot. You have to do this at an open access spot who have logged in, shows you their pictures so you can spot them. Oh, who's that girl over there? Oh, she's on Facebook. Then you double click it and it gives you the token and it just logs you right in. You don't need a password or anything. So I tried it with my friend. I went to our local coffee shop, joined the open access spot. I saw a list of all the people. I said to my friend who was sitting there, okay, Vanessa, now, because it's illegal to do this, so I wanted to make sure I had permission of the coffee shop and permission of the person I was sitting next to. Vanessa, log into Facebook. She did. She popped up. I see her picture on my system. Double-clicked it. I said, look, Vanessa, I'm logged into your system. I can update your status. I can change your picture. I can see your friends. I can get your phone number. And it works with Twitter. It works with Google, not Gmail, because that's HTTPS.
Yes.
But any non-secured, a huge list of them. In fact, John, it's on there if you want to.
Another reason not to use anything.
Well, there's two fixes, and unfortunately, both of them are ugly. Fix number one is what Google did, which is to, if you're Google, and Google just put a post up yesterday to encourage people to do this. They turned on HTTPS on
do that right now.
all the time on, and it's automatic now. On if you do it on Gmail, you're automatically always secured in Gmail, and this is why they turned it on. You can turn it off, but don't. And from then on, you're protected, and this Fire Sheep won't work on you. So Facebook has said, yeah, we're looking at it. It's going to take us at least 6 months to roll this thing out.
As if they didn't know it was there. I mean,
well, the thing is, it was never easy to do, but it was always there.
But it was always there.
Yeah.
So it's them, and you know, the interesting question is the developer who actually made Firesheep, what their intention.
Well, it's interesting because Steve Gibson was celebrating it. No, he was celebrating. He said, Eric Butler's his name. He said, this is a good thing because it forces the issue. This has been a problem all along, but it was so obscure, nobody felt pressure to fix it. So Facebook and Twitter and everybody's going to have to turn on HTTPS. Google posted a blog post this week saying, you know what, it was easy for us to do. It has not used a considerable amount of resources. In fact, far less than 1% of our server resources. It's an easy thing to do. Everybody should do it. So we'll see if these sites do it. The other thing to do is, and you should encourage folks who are listening, you should encourage your Starbucks, your local coffee shop, your hotels who are using open access spots just to turn on WPA encryption. That fixes it.
Now, you must travel a lot. Do you feel wary of using hotel internet, Wi-Fi in a hotel, or?
Not really, honestly, but this is scary.
You should be scared because
anyone
Loic,
can get your Facebook
if you log on to Twitter, they now have access to your Twitter account. They can
don't
tweet.
use Facebook and don't care.
Do you use Twitter?
I do. My name is Real Dvorak.
I'm sorry. Do you use the Twitter?
I use the Twitter. And I have been hacked, as you know. We talked about that before. I got recently hacked from my Gmail account, I might add, from some unknown source and some reason. And a whole bunch of friends of mine kept, of course, everybody knew this was bogus.
I'm in France right now. I lost my password and all my money. Please send me $1,000 so I can get home.
That's not a bad one. I would actually do that.
I've gotten that one.
But, well, where's my money? So anyway, the point is that it was just one of these, click on here, some bold crap thing. And I got, even Jim Warren sent me a note saying, I know this isn't you.
Right.
And it was from my Gmail account I never use. So
but I'd rather be hacked on le Twitter or le Facebook than le Gmail for sure.
Yeah. Gmail, you're safe, although they can get into your Google account so they can see your Google web history. They can, there's a lot they can do.
Yeah, but what do they want to do?
Yeah.
They're going to go in and look and say, well, this guy's dull.
Well, no, they can tweet for you. They can change your picture. How would you feel about that?
Yeah.
Anything's an improvement.
Could have boobs.
Anyway, the other solution, as I said, turn on WPA2. You get your coffee shop to do that. I hope that this stimulates sites to start using HTTPS. But get ready because already it's a problem on college campuses, as you might imagine, because most colleges use open networks.
This is just another example of how the cloud sucks.
The cloud, it's internet websites. That's not the cloud. Are you saying the web sucks?
No, the cloud in general. And that's what that drop.io thing's all about. It's cloud.
It's all cloud's fault.
Cloud.
It's
I'm
the
telling
cloud.
you, kids, to get off my cloud.
So we keep seeing rumors that Apple's going to have a white iPhone, but they just don't release it.
Yeah, I had a good column in PC Magazine on this. I have the explanation.
What?
Well, Steve didn't like the white.
It wasn't white enough.
It was white. It was eggshell white. It was off-white. It was Arctic white. It was titanium white. It was any white, but he didn't like it. I mean, what else could it be? Steve is like picky about these things.
I have another theory.
Well, I think my theory is correct.
Let's listen. He's not saying anything.
There we go.
No, stop. Look, cut the music. We made this promo for one reason, to let you know that the white iPhone is on its way. It's a little delayed, but it's not as bad as Dr. Dre's Detox album. That's been on the books for 6 years. And, basically, we should revel in the fact that this is delayed, because a lot of things are better a little delayed and worth the wait, like the McRib.
Really? You can't release the white iPhone 4 because of the camera? Are you f***ing kidding me? You released the white iPhone 3G, you released the white iPhone 3GS, and those both had cameras and were white? And which camera are we talking about here? Because there's f***ing two!
Wait. You mean black was on time and we're still waiting on white?
A lot of people don't realize this is the very first white product we've ever made. We've never made a white Apple product before. Ever.
You know what they say about iPhone 4? Once you go black, you never go back. Because you don't have that option.
This has not been a good year for Apple and cameras. First, they forget to put the camera in the iPad. Then, they remove the camera from the iPod Nano. And now they're saying they can't release the white iPhone because of the camera. What's next? The camera trapped those Chilean miners, took pictures of Brett Favre's made that hooker steal Charlie Sheen's wallet.
Insert any racist joke right here in your face.
Why don't you just buy the black iPhone, all right? And besides, if you've waited for the white iPhone, you're an idiot. You're a stupid human being who has waited 5 months for a phone that's a different color, that you're just gonna put a cover on anyways. So you're a fool. In fact, why don't you go get an Evo or something, or a Droid 2? They apparently does.
You know, if iPhone 4
does.
has taught us anything, it's that you always bet on black.
I don't know who did this because this is
Apple
very
LC
funny.
was a white machine, by the way.
Consider this my formal
Oh, no.
resignation.
So was the white iMac. So was the white Mac. So was the white iPhone.
Off-white.
What?
What?
I'm telling you. Remember
This
when
is
they
a-
first
this
came
is
out,
a
stuff, they were
parody,
actually
by the way.
platinum white.
I just want to give credit. This is OOJLEOO on Twitter. And I don't know what it means, but thank you to the chat room for sending that along. It was off-white. Remember they had the white iBooks and they had the problem because people would rest their hands on it and it would turn yellow? Mm-hmm. You had one of those, didn't you?
Yeah.
You had a yellow
That's
white
the reason
iBook.
never to use white again.
Yeah.
You had a white iBook?
Yeah.
A lot of people did. I had.
Well, you
It's
have
like still-
everything. It's beside the point. Whatever
still
they
works.
we talk
Still
You
about.
still have it. It's still,
Yeah.
is it still yellow?
I didn't quite get the yellow, but it broke off.
It fell apart like most of these things.
Yeah.
I saw quite a few tweets yesterday when my friends who live in Long Island, New Jersey, and parts of Connecticut were finally able to watch the World Series.
Long Island.
Long Island. Dr. Mom lives in Long Island. Don't mock it. Cablevision blinked. And now Fox 5 and My 9 are back on Cablevision after 2 weeks.
But still not on the Dish Network.
Yeah, that fight is still going on. This because Cablevision said it wanted more money, and
No, Fox wanted more money.
Fox wanted more money, and Cablevision said no.
Well, Fox thought they had them by the nuts because they
It
were hoping the Yankees were going to
playoffs
get
and
in
the
the World
Yankees,
Series,
yeah.
and they were going to get. They had it made, and then the Yankees couldn't even get past the playoffs. Past Texas, and next thing you know, Fox has no leverage.
So here's a statement from Cablevision. It says, quote, in the absence of any meaningful action from the FCC, you know who you are. No, I added that part. Cablevision has agreed to pay Fox an unfair price for multiple channels of its
I
programming.
like the objectivity of their commentary.
Including many in which our customers have little or no interest. They were bitter.
The days are over for this whole system.
I hope so,
This whole
because these
cable
guys,
crap
I
deal
blame them all.
is just ridiculous. The prices are way too high for everything.
Does anyone have Google TV?
I'm trying to get
I do.
4D TV. That's what I want. To
Not
catch it.
3D, you want
What's
4D.
4D TV? Can
That's
you explain?
C-band, the big old giant 10-foot dish.
You want a 10-foot dish?
Yeah. I got a pad in the backyard. I want to put a 10-foot dish up. I want to get one of these 4D.
Apparently, Dish. Speaking of Dish, has settled now. When they saw when Cablevision blinked, they settled as well.
Oh, well, good.
They didn't want to be the only ones standing out in the cold. Although apparently DirecTV is dropping G4, so there's some good stuff in the world. There's some reasons to be happy.
So anyway, yeah, big 10-footer, and then you have all this gear, and then you move it around, and you can catch all these feeds, and you can get now 4D TV refers specifically to HD coming from the birds themselves, and you get super high quality.
I never heard of this. 4D TV.
Yeah, 4D TV on 4G network. That's cool.
4 is the new black.
Go look it up.
4D TV.
Yeah, that's the high definition from
Okay.
the C-band.
So
I'm also going to become a ham. I decided that too.
you already are. Really? Really? You're going to get a ham license? You don't have to learn Morse code anymore, though,
Right.
right?
So I'm going to get a ham license. I think it's the only way to go. Get a little generator in the backyard, because what's going to happen is that they're going to shut down the net. They're going to shut down the TV.
And
Their
you
cell
will
phones
still
are
be
going to be
wired.
down, and I'm going to be able to talk to people and be able to get out of town safely.
That's great. In fact, John will still be doing his show on ham when the rest of us are long
with
gone.
Packet radio,
With Packet
we
GPRS.
can still do the internet.
Yep. We can still do the internet
internet.
with John's 10 foot we can still do the internet.
Well, I can have the 10-foot dish, or I can get the broadcast from the satellites, and then I can be a ham, and I can talk to people. When you are sitting here fretting because you got no connection.
So, yeah, I got the Google TV, the Logitech review. I should have brought it in so we could play with it. But I have to say, not so great. Not so happy.
Why?
Did you get one, Loic?
We had one in the office actually for 2 months.
You were an early beta tester.
Well, we have an Android app. Sysmic is available on Android, and we made sure that on a big screen it works. So we've hidden it.
I do like the fact that I could use an Android phone as my remote control with my TV. But come on, unnecessarily complicated. It doesn't really add a lot of functionality, especially now that the networks are blocking web access.
Well, that wasn't expected, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's this battle. This is this Cablevision Fox thing in another form, where the companies who create this content, are bitter about this whole thing, and they're going to block it. It's a mess. It's going to collapse soon.
It's completely collapsing. It's all going to YouTube and live, and
I mean, it's not tomorrow, but it's within the next.
Well, that's the
5
problem.
years.
In the meantime, we're all gonna suffer. So I connected it up. You take an HDMI cable from your cable box, you put it into the Google. This is the Logitech Review, is the one I had. You put it into the Google TV box. Then the Google TV box has HDMI out into your TV, so it's kind of in between your cable box and your TV, and it superimposes itself on there. So you still have your cable guide, you still have your TV.
So what's wrong with it? You said it sucks.
It's like, why am I doing this? So I press first of all, the keyboard is your remote control is a keyboard with a mouse, and if you press the home button, the TV's kind of dims out, and then you have a full screen of crap, like stuff you don't want, menu items for even the Netflix, which I do love. It's the old Netflix interface. You can't subscribe to movies. You can't. Okay. You can only. It's read only. Unlike the the Roku box, which has the new Netflix, or even the Apple TV, which has a new Netflix, it's the old Netflix.
But Leo, remember, Android sucked when they launched it first, right?
True.
So I actually would like to, I think it's great that TV is becoming an open platform, back to platforms.
I agree with you.
Right? Because as a developer, not that I code myself, but I have friends who code in my company. I would love to code myself. We can create apps for the TV.
But you want your kids to code.
Yes. I miss that part of my life completely.
You basically want to cut out the guys you're paying money to, and you want free labor. Is what you're. This is
exactly.
Okay.
I've been trying for a long time to get my kids to be my employees for free, but I failed so far.
Wow.
But anyway, you can, so you can code an app for a TV. I think it's pretty exciting. I think that's exciting because even the Apple TV.
Well, that's why I was disappointed that the Apple TV did not have apps. I thought this is a real opportunity, and they didn't do it. So you can't. So you're saying it's easy to code an app for the new Google TV because it's just an Android app.
You can have either web,
but I didn't see the marketplace on this Google TV.
It's all very new. Again, like Android was. I'm not working for Google, but I think it's pretty cool that we can actually build stuff.
No,
for the big
and I agree with you.
And so yes, it's web based, and yes, Android apps run on it. And so if
down the road, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
Right now, get a Roku box.
Yeah, and the the concept of having finally an open box instead of having a whatever Comcast or something box on your TV is very.
Can I say something here? I just
thought
a little bit off topic.
Yeah.
You're right. This thing is extremely quick.
he's talking about the MacBook Air, and isn't it nice?
I accidentally loaded something.
And it goes boom.
I have to get. Yeah, boom. Yeah.
Don't you love it?
It's amazingly quick. It's very snappy.
When you start, after you play with the Air for a little while, and now that Lisa's melted her laptop, I think we're going to have to get you an Air as well.
It's quicker than yours. It's
smoking as we speak.
I tried a few netbooks, and they were always slow.
I've bought half a dozen netbooks. Yeah. And
why are we not surprised?
Well, this is my job, John. I have to review this stuff. I'm not like you, where they send me everything. I have to go out and buy it. I'm a normal human being.
You have so much. What is it called when you have a large audience?
Big
reach.
I have reach.
You have reach, major reach, and the fact that you can't get this stuff for free.
Isn't that amazing?
It's frightening.
No, it's because he doesn't try. That's what it is.
No, it's because I'm not print. I'll be honest with you. They are so primitive. They don't understand what I'm doing.
This is wrong. What it is, you're going through print channels, because we have people at Mevio, a couple of guys there that do nothing but video stuff, and they get stuff I can't even get.
Yeah, they're polluting the waters because Logitech. Well, we sent something to Mevio.
In the chat room, they're saying you're getting Palm Prevo.
I'm getting what?
That? The Palm?
The Palm. The
you remember that?
Screw you!
Well, maybe this is the reason you're not.
I can get review units. I choose not to because I usually find it's a better experience to buy it So first of all, you feel the pain.
And you can also give it away to somebody.
I can give it to somebody like you. And then...
I could use this thing, by the way.
No, you can't have that. I'm keeping that. You're not getting
come on,
that.
Christmas
No. Well, or maybe a Christmas gift. We actually...
Working on it.
Actually, we're going to... Now, well, tell me, because just don't tell the employees. We were thinking of giving all the employees a MacBook Air as their Christmas
I think
bonus.
that's a great idea.
But then my wife said, well, don't give them... What if they don't want one? Just give them $1,000.
No, don't give everybody... Well, if cash is okay.
Yeah, because if you give them cash, they could buy the Air.
But it's not really a thoughtful gift.
They're listening. Stop listening.
It's a thoughtful gift is where you actually put more energy into it than giving somebody a crappy gift certificate that they're going to lose.
We're sending... Actually, we are sending you a gift, John. I can give it to you now.
You got a funny smile on your face, so it's not going to be the MacBook Air. That's what I'm angling for.
It's a fez. We're sending all the hosts fezzes.
I could use a fez.
Let's see if you'll...
I already look like crap in a fez. We've worn them before.
We already tried the fez. So we're getting 100 TWiT fezzes made.
You look like a little turtle.
Very attractive.
Looking good. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. 1 billion YouTube subscriptions, according to the Google YouTube blog. 1 billion subscribers. That is an amazing thing. You have a YouTube channel mostly, Lisa.
Well, I
you
mean,
don't keep it up to date?
No, I was a staunch Vimeo supporter until the very last minutes, and I still prefer Vimeo because I'd rather.
But all the people are on YouTube.
I know. I'm not really interested in that angle. Like, I don't want to be like a YouTuber. I mean.
You don't want to be.
I don't want to be.
She doesn't want to be a YouTuber.
Is it because the comments? Because the comments are when I look at our YouTube channel, boy, those comments are nasty.
Comments are mostly spam or nasty.
Yeah, I just.
Nasty?
Oh yeah.
Huh.
I'll show you.
Never heard
some.
of such a thing as nasty comments.
We have a very active YouTube channel. YouTube.com/TWiT.
I need to write this down.
You can watch. you never heard of that, huh? It's the YouTube. Maybe if I call it the YouTube.
The YouTube.
Now you know what I'm talking about. If you go to youtube.com/TWiT, we have a very active channel with all the shows, including this show, on it, and we put our specials on there and stuff. But then I go and I read the comments, and it's like, oh.
She looks good in a fez.
You know, the thing they do very well is reference the YouTube videos on Google, obviously.
Right.
So the way
they're searched, they're in the search index.
They go really high.
Yeah.
So that's why.
That's another reason to be there.
Right. So if you publish your videos only on other platforms and you don't do YouTube, then you're gonna miss a lot of search traffic. Mm-hmm. And so the Windows Phone 7 video we launched for Sysmic got 50,000 views. Wow. And that's a lot from searches, actually.
That's a lot.
Oh, that's interesting. You could tell. You could say.
Yep.
Yeah. So I should just ignore comments like,
suck.
God, TWiT 7271 sucked.
Of course.
It seems like no one on the panel has any legitimate...
on your own website. It used to have, I should mention this to people who are newbies, in the olden days, when Leo did the TWiT show, he used to have comments on the website.
What a mistake.
And they were actually quite interesting for a while, but obviously because the show is so huge that the moderators couldn't keep up, and so you got a lot of, you suck, this show stinks, Dvorak stinks, Dvorak's great, why wasn't he on? It's like, I can't win, because if I'm on, I suck, and if I'm not on, the show sucks.
Right.
How does that work?
Right.
So, there's trick-or-treaters roaming around the street back there already.
Hey, it's that time of the evening. We probably should wrap up. Do we have any candy?
Such another commercial to do.
Do we have any cocaine?
Leo would never have done that in the olden days.
No, it's the new edgy Leo.
Yeah, the edgy.
How do you like that? Are you enjoying it?
I find it refreshing because you space it out just enough to make it acceptable. But
are you wearing a necktie?
You didn't notice this?
I just noticed.
Wait, this show's been going on how long? What time did it start?
An hour and a half ago. You're wearing a necktie?
Yeah, so I could have the Giants' colors.
Oh, I get it. Black and orange. Did you see, and this is the stupidest thing I ever saw. No, I know. I'm not paying attention.
Wow.
I just noticed. It was in the newspaper today that people are putting pot in the Halloween candy.
No.
What?
Holy
First of all,
crap.
What pothead would waste pot on little kids?
Well, maybe they're trying to get people to vote for 19.
Oh,
19,
no.
Yes.
That's where that story comes from, is the anti-19.
Of course. The anti-19 propagandists are
We should tell people that California will be the first state, well, maybe not the first state, but we have on the initiative.
No, we will be the first state.
And it may well win on Tuesday.
Express my voice. I think it's stupid.
Okay.
Why?
I'll just explain what it is. It's a proposition to make it legal to own and sell marijuana.
No, actually, the selling part is yeah, it's legal, but you have to go through a licensing
It
process.
still has to be licensed, but it is legal.
To smoke and
you know,
grow.
it's de facto legal here because
It's
we have
already
medical
legal.
marijuana, and it's very easy to
You
get a
can
medical
go to
card.
a medical marijuana place for anyone from out of state who wants to do this. You go to a medical marijuana place, you wander in, and you say, hey, I got a cough. Oh, okay, let me write you a prescription. There's a doctor sitting there, and for like $50 or $100, whatever they charge, they just sit there. They do nothing else. They're a real doctor.
Right.
They sign a prescription, and then
Right.
you walk across the aisle to the...
But what the state doesn't like is they're not getting any tax revenue, so they want to tax marijuana and help maybe in our deficit. So you think it's a bad idea, Loic?
Yeah, well, because I have kids, and
Yeah.
the oldest ones are 13 and 15,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry, but this clearly
It's
harms your
already
brain.
all over the place.
I don't
What
want-
difference does it make?
Right, but
Would
no.
you rather have it regulated rather than just completely out of control where people can be smoking toxic weed?
I'm sorry, John, but I think if you make it difficult for people to
It's
buy,
not difficult. That's the joke of it. That's what we just said.
It isn't unfortunately
Right.
difficult.
Anyone can get it. Your kids are probably
No,
stoned
I am.
as we
You know what?
speak.
I am so sympathetic because I have a 16-year-old.
well, I hope you're wrong.
I'm
about-
agreeing with you, Loic. I think it really is. As a parent, it's a very concerning thing, and I don't know how I want to vote. Because on the other hand, I don't want.
You're a liberal. You're supposed to vote yes.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's the conservatives that are voting no,
Yeah.
but they want the tax money.
Well, the smart ones are voting yes, but the typical classic conservative is voting no because
can't
I don't know.
decide.
We don't. I tell you the
Wait,
it's
isn't
a
that
gateway
more-
drug? It's
Well, wait a minute.
We don't need another
What
intoxicant.
about nullification?
Nullification? What about it?
States' rights, baby.
I know this would be great. That's why I want to see it pass.
Because the
So
feds have already said, even if California legalizes
Yeah.
pot, we have not, and we will go after you.
right.
So this is a perfect nullification.
This will be great.
John's big proponent of this.
Well, you can go to Amsterdam right now if you want a quick fix.
I don't want a
I'm
quick
not
fix.
crazy.
I
I'm
don't
not
care.
crazy.
I'm not a big
I'm with you,
pot
Loic. I'm
smoker.
not crazy about the idea. I do think it's there anyway. I mean, it's everywhere in the high schools. It's not a
fair,
hard
but
thing to
you
get.
don't want to make it easier.
Any easier at all.
It's basically
that's-
legal
At least
in
we are
Canada.
scared about.
Okay,
getting caught.
what's the Canadian experience? Because I know if I go to Vancouver, there's pot bars.
Really?
Yeah.
There
You didn't
are?
know that?
No?
Just like Amsterdam. No, there's a bar in Vancouver where they sell you.
It's legal.
It's
Semi-quasi-legal.
quasi-legal.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up
Canadians are good about
in
that.
high school, and because I was an athlete, I never. It wasn't.
You didn't use it all.
No, I mean, not alcohol or.
Now you're in San Francisco. You can change your ways.
No, I'm kind of compulsive about how my body feels. But I have to say that it being more legal has not made it more of a problem.
So that's an interesting example. In fact, you might say because you don't have to imprison so many people for dealing and smoking.
By the way, here's a good example. Portugal has decriminalized marijuana, and the usage has gone down. Has been very well documented. That's what's going to happen here, by the way. The usage is actually going to go down because it's not going to be some forbidden fruit. And I think, by the way, somebody made a point that's not.
But where
really-
do you stop, John? Then why don't you, go
Well, you're
like
talking to a
full
lib-
wave with the drugs and
hey,
go
you're
ahead?
talking to a libertarian. As far as I'm concerned, everything should be legalized, and people should.
Except abortion, because that's not right.
I didn't say that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm not saying that either. I'm very consistent.
That's
with
why I
this
couldn't
policy.
understand Rand Paul, because he's supposedly a libertarian.
The abortion thing is a problem for some people who are quasi-libertarians, but real libertarians will say, "Look, you're responsible for this yourself."
I agree. The government has
You're
no
a
right.
borderline libertarian
I am.
posing as a
I would say
progressive.
most geeks are libertarian, or have certainly
No,
libertarian leanings.
most people in Silicon Valley are borderline libertarians.
Yeah. As opposed to crypto Republicans.
And then you make,
Well, there's a
like
lot of that.
smoking. I actually think so. Take smoking, right? The fact that smoking in restaurants is prohibited,
As it
or in
should
public
be.
spaces, is really great. And I'm a former smoker myself, like 10 years ago.
But you don't
And
want to smell that.
It's annoying, and you're
awful.
in a nice.
But now
Right,
a
so why
libertarian
do you
would
stop
say,
then?
go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not,
would-
I
if you-
don't want them smoking dope in the restaurant either. I'm not stopping. I agree with that. They shouldn't be smoking dope in the restaurant. You shouldn't be smoking tobacco. You shouldn't be smoking crack in the restaurant. I don't want to smell that either. I just want to eat the food and maybe sniff the wine. I'm not inconsistent.
Our chat mod Dan says libertarianism is anarchy for rich people.
Fine.
I'll buy that.
I'm not that rich.
Chad Hurley stepping down after 5 years after founding YouTube, and of course selling out for $4+ billion to Google. In fact, apparently he's been transitioning away for the last 2 years, according to TechCrunch. Most of the day-to-day operations are held by a Google VP.
He's been into Formula One for a long time already.
Formula One racing?
Yeah. Yeah, he's been financing Formula One. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, he's
has
got a few
clothing-
$1 billion. He can
has
do
a
whatever he wants.
Yeah, that's an expensive sport. He said that on my stage at the Web last year. He has a clothing, I think, shop somewhere, a company that he's launching.
So he's not going to be back in the tech sector, you think?
Well, he's staying on at Google.
Is he? Or is that just,
It's bull. Most of
Really?
these guys,
that's
they
like
bail.
Ray Ozzie staying
There's
on
a
at
lot of people
Microsoft.
that don't really like being in the world of tech, and as soon as they make their millions, they bail. I've been observing this.
Was
since the days
Chad
of the
or
Hercules.
Steve? Was Chad or Steve
Card.
the real mover at YouTube? Was it Steve Chen who did all the?
I don't know.
You don't
I don't know. I think Chad has been really visionary, and I mean, being able to make such a huge change in our, lives. Frankly, we go to YouTube like every 20 minutes.
Yeah,
right?
huge.
It's huge.
Lars Rasmussen, the man who started Google Wave, he was a creator of Google Maps. Was in Australia with his brother, and he has announced. Well, he hasn't announced anything. He's leaving Google, and he put on his Facebook page that he was leaving Google. So the speculation is that maybe he's going to Facebook. There are quite a few Googlers who've gone to Facebook.
That would make
That's
sense.
where the money is.
Well, that was Harrington's point this morning. Actually, is that they
know where
they
the
follow
pirates
the money.
are?
They follow
the money. The
I'm not
pirates-
talking about him.
Pirates
in person, of
follow
course,
the
nothing
money.
to do, but yeah, if you move like to Google when it starts succeeding, you succeed with Google. Then you
Right.
move to Facebook when it starts growing, you see that. That's actually a pretty good point. It's not being very entrepreneurial.
No, you're just moving from place to place, taking
It's
advantage
job
of the
to job.
situation.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe
some
he's a
people are
bit,
good at that.
a
Sorry.
bit disappointed about Wave, and
Well, you got to think he and Jens were a little disappointed that Google gave Wave 1 year and then pulled the plug.
yeah.
They put a lot of effort into that one. There is an interview I see here on the Sydney Morning Herald, Why I Quit Google to Join Facebook, an interview with Lars Rasmussen, so I'll have to check that out. I haven't actually seen that interview yet. It says, it feels to me that Facebook, this is confirming exactly what you were saying, Loic. It feels to me that Facebook may be a sort of once-in-a-decade type of company.
Cha-ching.
And he decided to end his 6-year tenure at Google after a, quote, compelling personal pitch from Mark Zuckerberg. Obviously, says Lars, they've changed the world already, and yet there seems to be so much more to be done there, like an IPO.
Exactly.
And I think it's the right place to be. Are people flocking to Facebook pre-IPO, Loic? Is that what's going on? Because they feel that there'll be an
That's
IPO
obvious.
in 2021.
There is a number of companies which will go public. Zynga is another one.
Yep.
And there is a lot of
I think
people
Zing
going
is more
there.
likely to happen. There's some
LinkedIn.
There's a lot of questions whether or not Facebook has got so much government connections with intelligence agencies.
You say the
that-
CIA is a big investor in Facebook.
and that it may not ever go
You
public.
listen to Adam Curry again.
No, that's my thinking. Adam's got his own thoughts about these things.
Who does he think? What does he think about Facebook? I'm just curious.
I don't know what he thinks.
Yeah, we'll have
you
to get him
get
on.
him on the show.
Yeah,
Get
he
Adam
was
on
on.
the show
He was on a
more
while ago.
often.
I'm back on. You want to move Cranky Geeks over to TWiT?
It's a possibility. There's all kinds of changes taking place. I'm doing a daily column now for PC Magazine. You can check it out at PCMag.com.
I want to do a show called Angry Nerds.
Same thing.
Yeah.
But you need a host that can actually do a show like that who's worth a crap, which is far and few between, I might say.
John C. Dvorak.
There's a thought.
Yep. Rasmussen said, if you were to ask me 2 or 3 years ago if Facebook was going to be this big, I wouldn't have picked it. And I have a great deal to learn from Mark and his team. Yeah, he's going where the cash is. I mean, I can't knock it. Especially once you cancel your, his pet project. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
But Google Maps is really successful.
Yeah, but he's not. But he's kind of done with that,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. The Nexus 2 is going to come out at the same time, November 8th, according to rumor, the same day as the Windows Phone 7. This is the the Samsung version of the Nexus.
How long do you think it's going to be before the Windows Phone? I mean, they're advertising a lot, but I think this phone is going to just go by the wayside.
I'm really curious. Like
How
the
come you
Kin, you
haven't
think it's going to be
got
like
one,
the
by the
Kin?
way?
Well, I'm going to get one November 8th when it comes out. I can't buy one.
It's not out in the US yet. It's out in Europe.
Yeah.
Do you have?
bring one
Well,
over?
obviously you have a bunch of them. Do you have one with you?
My team. I'm based here. Remember? So I don't have one.
But you
amazing.
developed for the.
We have one. We have had a developer device for a few months.
But that's not the same as a Samsung Focus.
No, it's totally different. It's really like very slow compared to new ones. And
everybody wants the Focus.
We have the app, so I could try Joe Belfiore's of Microsoft last week.
Yep.
And it was pretty nice. I have to say, as a developer and as a user, the feel is pretty good. And what I credit them for is that they've done a UI which doesn't look like an iPhone UI. And I think that's courageous. We'll see. The other thing is
it's a big gamble. I mean, I'm with John on this, that it's a gamble.
They sell those for 29 euros in Europe.
What?
They sell what?
This phone, I've read somewhere that some versions of it will go for like 30 euros and then 2-year plan, of course, right? But really cheap.
Well, they ought to do that here. They're really gouging people to charge $200. They're going to get $2,400 eventually out of us.
Very cheap. That's what I mean. I think
why not give it away? I mean, you're going to make plenty of money over the 2 years.
Yeah. But, you know, as you was discussing in your last show, actually, I think it's a very different market they're going after. You'll have like a, a 300, 400, 500 iPhone or really high-end Android or a $50 or $1, you know.
But they aren't doing that here. It's $200 here. And it would be that would have been an interesting, compelling move for Microsoft to say, this phone's free. This phone's free.
They did that with the Kin. After the fact.
The Kin was a penny. You could buy it for a penny on Amazon. As long as you signed up, it's yours.
The other thing is they have a very big developer network, right? So all the developers who created games for Windows and programs for Windows can switch very easily their code, which is what we did, and that's a strength. That's why they already have a number of apps.
Right?
Yeah,
Windows
and
presentation.
Silverlight, and
We're going to take a break, come back with more. It's so great to have Lisa Bettany in studio. Glad you're part of our American crew now. Yay. MostlyLisa.com to see her photographs. And soon to be part of TWiT, we're going to do a photography show. I can't wait. And the only thing holding me up is just clearing my schedule so I have some time because I want to be part of it. Yeah, if I can. If you let me.
Maybe.
It's your show.
A little bit.
Okay. John C. Dvorak is also here. ChannelDvorak.com in a necktie.
Necktie.
You know, I have a necktie that's black but has asteroids at the bottom. Would you like that instead?
Asteroids?
The game Asteroids.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
All right. John, that's in my trunk if you want to run out and get it for John.
You keep it in the trunk?
Just in case?
Just in case you need to wear a necktie.
See, I usually keep a bottle of wine in the trunk.
I have that too.
Good.
Actually, I had the 5D in the trunk too.
Oh.
There's wine everywhere here.
A lot of wine. He drinks a lot of wine, this guy.
You missed the booze cabinet.
Oh.
You'd think I was a lush.
Well, if you were, there wouldn't be anything in the booze cabinet. That's the key.
Loic Meur is also here, and I'm really looking forward to Le Web. I cannot wait. I mean, of course, it's Paris, which is cool. But 2,500 European entrepreneurs.
November. Yep. It's cold as a
50 countries.
It's going to be freezing in December.
Startups pitching all over the place, innovation.
Freezing is cold. They're going to have the decorations up.
Cold is good. You know, it's fun. You can go by a fireplace. You can see. You know, it's nice.
So
the food is great. By the way, it's the truffle season too. So you can have truffle in Paris.
Get truffles here.
Oh, baby.
You can get truffles here.
Are there
not good truffles?
Are the decorations for the Paris Christmas going to be up at the time? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's worth going.
Really? Did they do a big?
Oh,
yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, all the big shops there.
I was in Paris 2 years ago at Christmas. It was beautiful, but the fountains were frozen.
Oh, it was cold.
That was weird.
I miss winter here, honestly. I miss it.
Yeah, really.
I don't.
I don't either.
Oh, come on.
We will be. Loic broadcasts the whole thing on Ustream.
Yep.
But we will also be broadcasting my talk. I guess we're going to do a show, like a mini show.
Yeah,
half
we
hour
can
show.
do whatever you like.
And can we get Marissa? Let's ask.
Let's ask her. Yeah.
And maybe Mike Arrington. That'd be fun. Maybe we could fisticuffs. and Lisa.
Arrington.
Kevin Rose is there.
Kevin's going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that'll be, I think, 9 a.m. on December 8th, which is 6 p.m. Paris time.
Exactly. 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
So that's
we'll broadcast that here. So that'd be really, really cool. Yeah. And if you're in, if you can get to Paris December 8th and 9th, go to Le Web.
Absolutely. We just actually did a code, TWiT.
Oh.
Yeah. If you go to leweb.net and in the promo code you put TWiT, we give you 200 euros.
That's a good deal.
Give you 200
That'll
euros
pay for a phone.
Rebate.
Oh, rebate. I thought you were just going to give 200 euros.
I would love to. It's a family business, but we were talking about entrepreneurship. We self-finance this. We created it 7 years ago with my wife.
But it's just big now. You have thousands of people going.
But that's what I mean. It's like I'd love to invite all my friends, but then we can't do the show.
And it's not a business anymore.
No, we can't. We just
a party.
Can't do it. We just can't do it.
Right.
How many friends do you have?
He's got a lot of friends.
Wow, I guess so.
Leweb.net.
Yeah, definitely.
I should.
No, I mean, you have more friends than I do.
I I have no idea, John, but we don't count.
I got 5.
Yours are bigger than mine.
Total 5. Well, they're bigger because they gain a lot of weight over time.
Actually, the one thing that people have mentioned we probably should do also is a recorded TWiT while we're at LoWeb.
Yeah.
Not as part of the presentation, but just, pull some people aside and do that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Real briefly, I'd like to mention our friends at Squarespace. If you're looking to set up a website, this is a great company doing some really innovative, cool stuff. Squarespace.com, it's where they say where exceptional websites begin. And I'd agree. That's where our blog, our TWiT blog, inside.twit.tv runs. It's hosting plus software. Really one of the best, I think the best CMS out there. It's all built in Java. They use Java VPS for their serving. So you've got a really slick, responsive, robust platform. The application, is your laptop broken?
No.
Oh, good.
I think it liked it.
Oh, nothing like a little wine bath. You want Einstein or do you want Pong, John? You get your choice.
Oh.
Well, the Einstein's got little Giants colors.
Yeah.
This is funnier.
That's awesome.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, definitely.
The Asteroids wasn't out there? Maybe I wore that one. I'm wearing it as a thong. I'm sorry. You want it? Would you like it anyway?
No, thanks.
Where's your beard today? I thought for sure
maybe.
you'd have a beard today.
I had a beard last night for Halloween, but it was painted on. Yeah, just a little tip. If you paint on a black beard, wash it off before you go to bed. The pillow was... Oh, it's disgusting. So Squarespace.com. Did I mention Squarespace.com, the secret behind exceptional websites? You could try it for free. You just go to Squarespace.com right now. Log in, site name, password, email address. So if you forget the password, you can get it back. And then this capture, and you're done. Now you've got a site for 2 weeks. And here's the beauty. You can import all of your content from your existing site. It supports all the standard APIs, movable type, WordPress, Typepad, and Blogger. That means pretty much every platform. It's seamlessly. You'll get both the posts and all the comments, all the images, all the videos. Complete social integration with Twitter, Flickr, Facebook, all of the sites. And just gorgeous templates. You start with their basic 60-plus professionally designed templates, but then the sky's the limit because it's very easy to drag and drop and modify. Anything you want it to be. And if you... one of the things I think that sets Squarespace apart, a lot of blog engines, all the sites look kind of the same. You can kind of tell. You go to a WordPress engine, you're looking at a WordPress site. Look at some of these example sites from Squarespace. Every one looks different. You'd never know that these are Squarespace sites. That's the beauty of Squarespace. Here's one that they're doing e-commerce. They have podcasts. I just love it. Squarespace, a lot of photographers use Squarespace because it's so beautiful. It's really great for your portfolio. They've got slideshows and thumbnails and all of that stuff. They've got forms as well. Try it right now. If you're looking, what are you laughing at? Webcomics.com?
Yeah.
You know
funny.
them?
I do.
Yeah, Brad. You know them?
Do I?
No. Oh, you know him.
I know him.
He's here to talk for Prop 19, man.
Yeah.
The ganja is good, man. Oh, it must be 420. That's what it is. I'm sorry. I lost track of the time. Squarespace.com/twit. And if you decide to sign up, let me encourage you to use the TWiT coupon code because you'll get 10% off your site for the life of the site, forever. Sites start at $12 a month. And actually, prices go down as you sign up for longer terms and more features and so forth. Squarespace.com/twit. Give them a try. We love them, and I know you will too. That's good. That's a good look on you. I actually got gypped a little bit on that. Oh, I'm sorry.
You bought a bunch of these things.
I've just offended our gypsy listeners. I didn't mean to say gypped.
Yeah.
Oh, please. I had somebody call me out on that like some 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I happen to be part
I'm
gypsy.
a gypsy, and that's offensive. I got robbed. Oh, now I've offended people named Rob.
Robbers.
Because that was supposed to have marijuana sunglasses. And I don't see. Do you see a marijuana leaf or anything on those sunglasses?
No. It would reflect it.
Also,
I think it's inferred.
It's inferred? Well, I had one of those hats before that had far more dreadlocks. These dreadlocks are really sparse.
This is not good.
It's terrible. See, it's supposed to have marijuana sunglasses on.
What did you buy all these things for? You have a moth in here.
That came out of it. Oh, no wonder he ate the marijuana sunglasses. That's what happened. Includes knit cap with attached dreadlocks, marijuana leaf sunglasses. Where's the marijuana leaf necklace? Somebody smoked it? Okay.
Could be good for the tech.
Anyway, you could save anything you want for the tech hippie. Please be my guest. And take those Einstein ties as well. But don't take my camera. Whatever you do. This 10th anniversary of the Asimo robot. Boy, that changed the world, didn't it? That Sony robot that, boy, that changed the, it walked like a human.
It's still around. They still show it. They still bring it to
robots. They're here any day now. The robots will be here.
When I was the editor of InfoWorld, we had like every year we did this. What do you think's the big thing, the theme for next year? And in 1981, everybody said 1982 is going to be the year of the robot. 1982. And then if you remember the year after, remember Bushnell brought out those crazy robots that would fall over but they'd get a beer.
Right.
They would get a beer was the main thing they did.
Right.
And
that was it. That was going to be the beginning of the end. So here's the Asimo ad. 10 years old now. This is from Sony, I think, right? Who makes the Asimo? Sony, right?
No, Honda.
Honda, that's right.
That's Honda. Sony is Aibo.
Aibo is the dog. That's right. Yeah. So you can't, for those of you listening, here's a little white robot walking along. Hey, they could make the robot white. Why can't they make a white iPhone? I ask you.
It's not an Apple thing. I don't see an Apple robot.
Look, it's climbing stairs.
That's most of the users.
The robot's looking down and is going to climb stairs. It does look human, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not fat, though.
Are you making fun of Americans?
Why? No.
Aww. He's so human. He's looking through a telescope at the ceiling.
I loved my Aibo. I had one.
Do you have an Aibo?
I had one.
Yeah.
I sold it before they crashed.
I was going to say, yeah.
But I should have kept
sold it before you had kids is what you should.
Pull out a gun and shoot the screen.
It's the Elvis Aibo. I mean, Asimo.
Technology. Making better.
The only robot that really works is the vacuum cleaner, right? What is that? Roomba.
Amazon keeps telling me to buy that. Every day.
You need a Roomba. They must know.
They know.
Lisa Bettany, she's been listening to too much Britney Spears. You know why? It's because you bought all that Britney Spears music.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, there must be a correlation. It could be.
So Garrison Keillor doing that ad for Asimo.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
That makes it very homey and high touch, so people aren't scared of it. What was the point of Asimo? It didn't.
It was an exercise in balancing, making a robot walk and talk.
Dig laying off another 37% of its workforce, 25 people. Was it over for Dig, Loic? You must watch from the outside and look.
Yeah, what do you think?
I don't really use Dig. I like Kevin, but I don't really use Dig.
I love Kevin. He's an old friend, and he's going to be at the web, so we better not say anything bad.
But I'm not sure about Dig. I don't use it. So.
We had Jay Adelson on, and I asked him about it, and he said, "Well, he said I'm a big stockholder, so I hope it's not dead." He said, and this is true, and I think this is actually a better question for you, Loic, and for John, too. We do have this expectation that these companies are going to grow at this incredible multiple. I mean, Dig still has 20 million uniques a month.
That's big.
It's a huge site, but because it's not doubling every month, we pay attention to Twitter, not Dig. Is that an unreasonable expectation, or is that something we need to have for these sites to succeed?
I guess Twitter has been probably one of the challenges, right? Because
Twitter is the competition.
Right. Dig is about, sharing links and voting on the best ones. And Twitter just does this naturally.
Now, Condé Nast has a competitor, Reddit, which is not as big, but is doing okay. What are you looking like that for?
Reddit is even nastier than Dig.
It's really nasty.
Why?
It's almost 4chan.
Yeah.
Which I love, by the way. And if anybody asks,
I see what you're
4chan's #1. Just want to make sure they don't attack us.
And what's the other one? Encyclopedia Dramatica was that other one that has all the good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, John.
It's good stuff.
I want to thank you all for being here. We had some okay wine. But we're saving the Leoville for later.
So when does your daughter graduate?
Well, she's a freshman, so 4 years. It'll be just about right, won't it?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's true.
You gave me young wine. Is that what happened?
I said 2006. I mean, these heavy. I mean, you could drink the wine today.
I don't want to waste it, John.
But I think it would be better if it was.
Then you're small.
Well, actually, I think
10.
It begins at 8. At 8.
There you go.
and then it goes, and then it either like peaks at around 15, or
should I check with you to find out if 2006 is worth drinking?
2006, I can tell you right now, is quite worth drinking, and that wine in particular is a very highly regarded wine.
Bless you, John, for paying off your bets.
I paid promptly. I always pay my bets.
You did.
And like the people out there owe me money. You know who you are.
Adam Curry.
No,
so
Curry doesn't really owe me money.
Thank you. I'll make coco vin with it. That's perfect for that, right?
Oh, come on.
It would be good.
It would be good. It would be a very good coq au vin.
Loic, yes, it would be. Loic, I'll see you in Paris in a couple of months.
Yeah, thanks for coming to Paris.
Can't wait to see Loic.
Well, your community is expecting you there, and the web community too. So
I cannot
can
wait.
see a lot of tweets.
It's going to be a lot
Leo
of
in
fun.
Paris. Well, Leo
Yay!
in Paris. Yay!
Leweb.net. If you want to sign up, it's not too late. Use the coupon code TWiT. You'll save 200 euros. What was it, 200 euros? Yeah. Wow, that's great. Seismic.com. The Seismic desktop absolutely is the way on Mac or Windows to tweet. I'm a big fan.
I'm super happy to see it on your screen.
Yeah. Well, in fact, if you look at my tweets, you'll see. I mean, I use a lot of different clients, but my desktop client has always been Seismic, and especially Seismic Desktop 2. You really did a nice job with that. Really like it. John C. Dvorak is at Channel Dvorak, where he has a nice new tie.
It's a black tie. It's hardly even interesting.
Do you ever? Well, no, I gave you the Einstein
it's
tie.
in there.
Do you ever wear ties? I mean, is that okay?
I used to be. I'm a tie collector, as a matter of fact. I have about 500. Seriously, I have about 500 ties. I got into it in the 70s, and I got all these ties. And then, of course, ties became, who needs them? And so now I got all these ties that are in this collection. That they're going to make a comeback one of these days.
Ties.
Yeah.
I love them. I call them cravats.
You can call them whatever you want.
Lisa Bettany is at mostlylisa.com. Anything else you want to plug?
Our new photo show.
What are we going to call it?
I don't know.
Mostly photos?
Oh, the domain's taken. I've tried to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
I should have done that right at the get-go, got all the Mostlys, but...
Yeah. You could just own Mostly. You'd be like the Mostly, the queen of Mostly. Well, we'll figure out a name for it. In fact, I'll take any suggestions. You can email Leo at twit.tv. Kilroy says, John collects ties, Leo collects hair pieces. Thank you. I think this is a particularly nice one.
That is a good one, by the way. I have to
very,
give you
very
kudos
lifelike
on that one. Yeah, it looks
well, I knew the camera would be shooting down, so I didn't want any bald spots or. Yeah. You don't want to see the netting. That's always horrible when you see the netting on the park. Thank you all for being here. We'll see you next time. Another TWiT is in the can.
This is my favorite part.
I love this. I forgot about this song.
I was once out strolling one very hot summer's day.
Through the TWiT cottage.
And I thought I'd lay myself down to rest in a big field of tall grass. I lay there in the sun and felt it caressing my face.
He is so stoned.
I fell asleep and dreamed.
It's not
I
on.
dreamed I was in a
So this is a
Hollywood
Kentucky Fried Chicken
movie.
ad, right?
that I was a star. This really blew my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that me, an overfed, long-haired, leaping gnome,
This is my
should be the
song.
star of a Hollywood movie.
Ooh. All right, here we go.
Where,
Le Meur. Loic, Le Meur. Say it. Le Meur.
You want the real stuff?
Yeah.
Le Meur.
Le Meur.
Perfect.
This is Le Meur.
Perfect.
There's no
card, by
E.
the way?
Le Meur.
Doing the TWiT.